Oh, I should probably delete that audio track before we start. All right, I'm here. Got my Ty Dillinger shirt on.
Nice.
So we're good to go.
You're a little blurry tonight.
You're a little blurry tonight. Oh, I gotta turn that light on. There, now I am properly lit.
Our YouTube chat is offering to switch to night mode in YouTube gaming. I don't know what the fuck that means, but I'm closing it. Okay. Chat window's up, though, so if anybody would like to participate with us during the show, feel free to pop in that YouTube chat window on the right-hand side of your screen, enter a question or comment, and we will read it live.
Yeah, I think Smathers said he would show up when he gets home from work. So,
all right.
I'm gonna look out for that. Okay.
Oh, look at that. Sal's there.
Hey, Sal. We do have to say we have one viewer down the corner here.
There you go.
There. So,
although Sal's going to come up with a better YouTube handle, it's just his name.
Lazy piece of shit.
That's not really creative. Ah, shit.
What?
Nothing. I'm fighting this cold. I forgot to bring some tissues down, so I'm going to make the kid do it.
Oh, boy. Special cameo.
Exactly.
All right. Other than that, are you ready to go?
I am just about ready to go, yes. Now your audio's gone again. Nope, you're frozen. Never mind. Now your audio's gone. Yeah.
I wasn't saying anything.
Now it is. Now it's back.
I was just staring at you.
Okay, because you froze and lost audio for a minute.
Okay. It's going to be a fun night.
Me to blow my nose. Okay. Let's see if that actually works. Okay. I'm sure everybody needed to hear that. No, we can start. He'll just interrupt. It's fine.
Great.
Yep.
He's very violent, your son. I've noticed. He's very violent.
Why?
Not like a cruel way. But the last APW show, he did kick me in the ass like 3 times.
Oh, he did? I didn't know that.
That's quite the picture.
Yes, it is. There's so many jokes.
Dog. That's Zeus, by the way. That's that dog's name. That is not... I can't believe I just forgot the dog's name. Raccoon Reigns' friend. Oh, well.
There we go.
He'll chide me the next time he's on.
Thanks, bud.
Which will be never.
You want to say hi to Adam? No? Okay.
He wastes time.
He's like, no, is Troy? He's like, no, is Troy there? I'm like, no. He's like, and he walks away. So. Yeah.
All right. So you ready to go?
Yep.
Okay, this is 273. In 3, 2, 1, record. Craving Arby's more than Summer Rae. It's episode 273 of The Rundown. Play the theme song.
You mean theme song?
That took far too long.
I'm a little out of practice. It's been a few weeks. As long as I hit the money shot, that's all that matters.
How do you think those posters are stuck to the wall?
Hey, you know.
Hello, everybody. My name is Adam. I'm your host. It is Thursday, December the 1st. It's fucking December 1st, 2016.
And finally, the stick has come back to the rundown.
That's such a horrible nickname.
Smathers in the house.
My name is Adam. I'm your host. Thursday, December 1st. We said that already. It's episode 273 of The Rundown. Joining me this week, Jason is here.
I am here.
Troy is getting set up.
I'm not
I don't know if he's recording yet. So I don't know if he's recording yet, so we're not going to talk about him until he says something. So it'll be a big surprise. It'll be a big surprise when Troy appears. So everybody
just talked about him.
Shh, don't talk about him. Shut up! You're ruining it.
Oh, great! Now I'm going to finish early.
So everybody, buckle in. This is going to be a 2.5-hour episode because Troy showed up at the very beginning. But we've got a lot of time.
And with Troy and myself on the same episode, we are definitely going to earn the shit out of that explicit tag this week.
Oh yes,
yeah, we are,
as we do every week. But we're back to having.
If you don't earn it, you lose it, right?
No, I actually have to click the little button on Podomatic that says explicit or clean. I think I've only clicked the clean button, I think, once. In this entire...
I never click that, so I'm pretty sure that anyone who's listened to my show has probably been like, there's a lot of swearing in this.
We are back to having 4 shows a week to talk about, so we should probably get right into it.
Oh, good God.
We might need to start doing like 2 rundowns a week and just break them into sections.
How much time do you think I have?
I don't even show up for the regular show on a regular basis. I don't know. You think I'm going to do 4?
But here's Jesus.
Oh, I'm ready, by the way. I'm recording.
I would hope so.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Troy is here.
Hey.
Oh, my God. I'm getting tangled in fucking yarn on my desk. Here's the first
This is good because when Adam undoubtedly freezes later on or his mic cuts out, I'll have someone talk to you.
I'm calling to talk about Monday Night Raw. And I am very, I don't want to say surprised. I'm very confused about the booking around the women's title. We've hot-shotted and switched the thing about 5 times in 4 months. And we switched it again. And the finish seemed to come out of nowhere. It seems like they were fighting up the stairs, and all of a sudden, she had her in the bank statement across the banister, and boom, tap out. It really just didn't feel like it was timed right. And, you know, the first time Sasha won the title, I was very excited. The second time Sasha won the title, I was kind of excited for her. Now that we're on the third time, I don't know, I just really didn't have a reaction. It's a shame. And, you know, everybody wants to talk about Sasha's title defenses and how she hasn't.
Where'd you go, Sal?
Hello?
The fuck?
Sal's phone apparently just died in the middle of that voicemail, but we got a little bit of it.
I can't blame that one on Google, Sal. That was nowhere near 3 minutes.
Nope, it was 1:19. Womp womp. Okay. I don't think that we have a second one for that, so might as well get into it.
Sal's on the side, so maybe he can explain to us what the hell happened.
What the fuck happened there?
We have a side?
Yes, we have a chat on the YouTube page.
There is a second one. Oh, I got you. Here's part 2. We return to this Sal's voicemail already.
He said the call dropped. Just go to the next one.
Reception Jones over here. Jesus. As I was saying, Sasha hasn't had any successful title defenses, but really in the past few months, neither has Charlotte. Her title defense record is pretty much just as bad as Sasha's. I would only assume that Charlotte gets a rematch at Roadblock. God knows what the hell they're going to do now. Maybe they will finally do that ladder match. But at the same time, it's really getting old. That whole stick of hot potato the title back and forth. Speaking of getting old, this whole thing with the New Day is killing me. It's literally killing me.
Literally.
Monday, December 12th, will be the night before the New Day break the record, and they're either going to lose it on that night, or, you know, they're going to win, and there's going to be some big celebration, and probably they'll lose it at Roadblock. But to who? The only team I see that has a chance is the newly united front of Cesaro and Sheamus, because they beat up a bunch of people in a bar. What a horrible fucking backstage segment that was. Well, not backstage. What a horrible pre-tape segment that was. That was fucking awful. The people in it were awful. They didn't know how to act. It was like something out of an 80s movie with Kurt Russell. It was fucking awful. I enjoyed Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho finally kind of having a big blowout, and Jericho going to leave and then getting beat up by Seth Rollins. That was fine. As far as Kevin Owens losing in the main, to Roman Reigns, I mean, obviously we knew it was going to stop the title match at Roadblock, but I don't know. I don't know about Roman Reigns, and who knows? Maybe they hot shot title as him, and Kevin Owens Universal Championship reign ends unceremoniously. At this point, I don't fucking know anymore. I don't fucking know. I will say I enjoy Paul Heyman's and how
Your phone's the shit.
Talk to you guys later.
Sal reminded me that I'm supposed to have entrance music.
I hope Tommy's phone is better when he calls in.
First, I have to get to a Honda ad.
Holding up the show already. Yeah, Monday Night Raw. So Jason.
Yes, Adam.
What do you think about Sasha's title victory?
Before you get into that, Jason. There we go. Yep. Now we're there. Okay. All right. I can go.
Okay, cool.
I'm not sure you get entrance music when you come in at the very beginning of the show.
It's true.
Technically, I came in a couple, maybe a minute or two after the show started because the little live thing was on. So.
45 seconds.
But he came in like a wrecking ball, so it's all good.
I should have used that.
There you go. Before I get started, Smathers on the side agrees with Sally's kind of over the constant changes, but it was an epic match, and the submission looked painful as hell. So yeah, I guess I didn't have as big a problem with it as other people did. Yes, it's a bit of hot potato, but they did that years ago with Ricky Steamboat and Ric Flair too, and I didn't have a problem with it then. The matches were epic. The storytelling was decent. And hats off to that finish, because that was a creative way to end that match. I really enjoyed the finishing segment. It looked tremendous.
Yeah, definitely.
And I didn't have a problem with it. I think we just basically righted the wrong that we had at Hell in a Cell and put things back to where they should have been.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that Sasha actually gets to have a successful title defense this time?
Right up until Roadblock, end of the line, sure. No, I would think so. I would imagine they're not going to switch it back to Charlotte right away, but I would have said that before too. My guess is, and I wrote this in my award-winning 3 Up, 3 Down column this week, which is back, by the way.
It's about time.
Yes, after some illnesses and personal issues, I am back to writing my column for the Quest End Network. Available at questendnetwork.com. Not for me. I'm just a carrier. So see, you got me all flustered with talk of herpes, Troy. See what happens there?
That's what I do.
Yeah, but my point in the column was I think what they should do now is spin Bayley and Charlotte off into a number 1 contenders program, give Nia a little run with Sasha for the title, even though I don't love Nia in that role, and set up maybe down the road at WrestleMania for that Bayley and Charlotte match, kind of recreate the Brooklyn atmosphere, because you have sort of a built-in thing here where Bayley has now twice been in line to be the number 1 contender, get the title shot, and Sasha's kind of stepped in front of her and took the title away. So I think you could build a nice story out of that.
You meant Bayley versus Sasha at Mania?
Yes.
Okay, because you said Bayley versus Charlotte. But we can't put Nia in that title picture because she's already got a NXT women's title shot at Osaka in 2 weeks.
Eventually, everyone's going to come around to my way of thinking on NXT and realize there's a problem. Because now that's going to be 2 title defenses for Asuka for people who are not on the NXT roster.
Yeah. We did talk about that briefly last week, me and Andy, how they don't really have a women's division outside of Asuka at the moment.
They're building it back up.
They're trying, they're working on it, but in the interim, they are kind of struggling with those titles.
Spoiler alert: this week at the NXT tapings, they had an appearance by Kimberly. She showed up down there, and they also had a match with Crazy Mary Dobson. So they are building the division back up.
That would be Kimber Space Lee, for those of you who do not understand or who do not follow indie wrestling. And Crazy Mary Dobson is now Sarah Dobson.
Yes.
Also, spoiler alert, at the NXT tapings this week, the Authors of Pain nearly killed a guy.
Yes.
Oh,
The video.
God. Yes. Oh, man. Not a pretty sight.
There are some things that you need a little bit more experience to do. One of those things is power bombing a motherfucker onto another motherfucker. And
to be fair, I think only one of those guys was a motherfucker.
Generally, when you are going to powerbomb one motherfucker onto another motherfucker, you
don't aim for the first motherfucker's head.
Yes, you usually try to position motherfucker number A.
Number A?
I said that correctly.
Oh, God! If iTunes allowed swears in the episode titles, I think this episode would be titled "Motherfucker Number A."
Motherfucker. Yeah, they don't, by the way, because they censor.
They don't at all. Yeah.
Even in the description.
We've all found that out the hard way.
Yes. Apparently they did not approve of shit weasels, but hey, yeah, so for those people who haven't seen the video, big Samoan shield-like guy power bombs one dude. I know their names, I just can't tell them apart.
Don't know which is which.
Yeah. So Samoa number 1 power bombs a dude. Samoa number
A.
Yep.
Samoa number 1 with motherfucker number A.
Yep. And then Samoa number 2 takes motherfucker number B and tries to powerbomb him onto the chest of motherfucker number A, but instead hits him right on the head. The match was stopped, and that guy no longer can smell. So, yeah, that was not a good. Now the good thing is, at least it wasn't current talent. So if you're going to injure somebody, at least injure the guy that was brought in for one night.
In their defense, they authored some pain.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. My favorite tweet about this whole thing, just because of the unintentional, just blind irony of it, was the person who posted a video of the incident under the tweet, "I hope they don't air this."
Yes, I saw that too. I was like, you realize
the video.
You realize that you're doing it, right? Like, if you didn't want people to see it, maybe.
And then the person who made the Instagram post of the video screen showing the replay, and it's just that one spot, but the Instagram, because it's Instagram, the video automatically repeats. Yes. So you're just watching this guy die over and over and over again.
And as it turns out,
look that up, folks.
They will be facing Gargano and Ciampa at TakeOver San Antonio. So enjoy Gargano and Ciampa while you can.
Yeah. Somebody give a call to Candice LeRae and say, I have a number for a good funeral service. Or if he's lucky, I have a number for a good in-home maid, because he's not going to be able to walk anymore after that match.
Neither member of TM61 died.
That is true. Actually, this is one of those things. It was, it's a fluke botch. It happens. I'm sure Bret Hart was having a heart attack over it. But you know what? These things happen. Considering that in WWE, one wrestler wrestles 237 matches a month, it's bound to happen that something is going to somebody is going to get hurt. Yes, that's essentially what the fucking cruiserweight division is doing now.
And Corey Graves calls that many shows a week, I think.
Corey Graves is going to sound like a 90-year-old emphysema patient by the end of the week, because he's just not going to have anything left to say. He's going.
Did you see who the new third man is on the NXT announce team now?
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Percy fucking Watson.
Yes. On NXT. I thought you meant on 205 Live.
No,
NXT.
No.
Yeah, Percy Watson.
Austin Aries is not going to be the commentator. Austin Aries is apparently going to join the cruiserweight division once he's healed,
and I like that.
Yeah, and that's great.
I liked Austin Aries on commentary on 205 Live.
I liked Austin Aries on commentary. I didn't like the fact that Mauro Ranallo didn't let them talk that much.
My problem with Austin Aries on 205 Live was that I felt like he was playing the role that Corey should have been playing and kind of forced Corey into more of a tweener role.
Yeah, that was the other thing too, was like once they showed the lineup, you're like, wait a second. No. This is if you're gonna have a 3-man booth, you have to have someone who can balance out the hate that Corey Graves brings to it. And Austin Aries is not that guy. Austin Aries is just gonna be like, you want to see hate? I will show you hate.
Yeah. Embrace the hate.
Look, that motherfucker's from Wisconsin. We hate people, all right?
although, to be fair, Austin Aries and I'm not a fan of Austin Aries, but Austin Aries' line of the night, which one's herp and which one's derp?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, God, I enjoyed the hell out of that.
You know,
like there was a typo on my notes.
You know, Austin is an adequate wrestler. At times he can be really good, but he has a ceiling. And in the cruiserweight division, he has no ceiling other than championship and long run with a championship. So if he doesn't join the cruiserweight division, he's mid-card heel at best on the main roster. So this will be good for him. It gives him kind of a spotlight. He could essentially be the top heel on 205 Live if they wanted to run that way. Sure. So, but yeah, I mean, yeah. But like Jason, I know Jason's not a huge fan of him. I have a little homerism for him because he is obviously from Wisconsin. But on top of that, he's one of those guys that you need guys like him, because he can make other talent look good, and as well on top of that, he can also put on a good match. So
yeah, I have no problems with him in the ring. I just dislike him on a personal level. So that's all.
That happens.
And, I'm blocked by him on Twitter. So,
yeah, I'm with you on that. I hate Mauro Ranallo, so.
But you still love Disco Inferno.
Disco Inferno didn't block me.
I know you haven't tried hard enough.
I don't think he actually reads any of his tweets.
Here's the problem, Troy. He's throwing it out there like a big, shining object in the distance that he's only ever blocked one person on Twitter.
Like a disco ball?
That's a fucking challenge, man. You're not taking up the opportunity to set yourself apart. Any asshole can get blocked by Mauro Ranallo. To get blocked by Disco Inferno is the holy grail, sir.
I understand that, but I have thrown my A game at the Bella Twins, the two people who are the
do you mean the actual Bella Twins or Nikki's tits?
No, I've included them both.
Cheech and Chocolates.
I'm the two separate females who were once one embryo inside of their mother.
Okay,
those two people, I have thrown everything I've got at them, and they just ignore me, and that's not them. I do not believe that that's their Twitter. Because there's no possible way that they didn't take that they haven't read every single tweet that's been made about them and gone through and been like, this person said that my match was okay. They should have said it was great. Blocked. I told Brie Bella I would give her an abortion, and she didn't block me. I told Nikki Bella that she should kill herself, and she didn't block me. What else am I supposed to do here, man? I have to tweet outside of their window in order for them to actually look at me, and they would still probably be like, that's not worth it.
Be like John Cusack and say anything holding up your Twitter feed.
I'll just get a big portable TV, and I'll just have it scrolling the entire time, and I'll be live tweeting it too.
There you go.
Anyway,
back to Raw.
I think you were trying to have some semblance of order on this episode.
Yeah, it shit's out the window. So back to 205 Live.
What do we think of the Team Kevin and Chris situation? They teased last week. They teased a breakup. This week, they teased it more, or they actually broke up, and then Chris Jericho got the shit kicked out of him, and Kevin Owens lost a match.
Allow me to do this, Adam. I shit on the creatives team probably more than anyone on this show. Allow me to give them a round of applause, because on Monday, that was fucking beautiful storytelling. What they did at the open of the show, tied to a thread we saw throughout the rest of the show, and did so seamlessly and wonderfully. They did that whole breakup at the beginning of the show. They set the tone for what would happen later. Jericho, because he's by himself, gets his ass kicked by Seth Rollins. Owens, because he's by himself, loses to Roman Reigns. Now we have the whole setup for them to realize that they're stronger as a unit and come back together. But they did it in a way that they weren't hitting you over the head with it. They did it subtly and led to something for next week.
See, the way that I took it was that they were trying to pull the same gig twice, and that
Seth Rollins fucked it all up.
Yeah, that Seth Rollins fucked up their plans. That Jericho was going to come back, screw Roman Reigns out of the main event, but because of the fact that he got pedigreed onto a car, and for whatever reason, nobody in the office even seemed to care what was going on behind them. They're just like, hey, there's some dude out there. Anyway, so record profits next year. You know, it's. I'm thinking. So I like that. I like, the way that I took it as well. It's, hey, maybe they turn around and explain it on Monday. But the good thing is that they didn't have anything where they explicitly said or had them go back to it where Kevin Owens like, when it's okay, Jericho, it's okay, good buddy, nothing like that. You still left it up in the air, so you got kind of a cliffhanger. Like, are they together? Are they not? And you could kind of play that up until the Rumble, if you really wanted to.
Owens did call him his best friend again later in the show, but that was their only.
Well, he called him his best friend in the context of somebody asking him if he was still his best friend and him angrily yelling it at them. So before telling her to get him a bottle of water. So Sal on the side says he has a third take on that because he's not going to let Adam get his take out. But anyway, Jericho will blame Owens for not getting his back with Rollins, and Owens will want to be friends. So he thinks it's going to be unrequited love on the part of Kevin Owens.
Oh. Why isn't he letting you have any takeout? Maybe are you hungry? Like, that doesn't seem very nice.
Yeah, well,
delicious supper.
Oh, when you said that Seth Rollins screwed up their plans, I thought you were talking about Finn Balor.
That's true. Well, that too. Yeah. And then Mick Foley's teeth fell out.
Oh, that was amazing.
that was something that happened.
And that's going to be the thing people remember. And he still got it out.
I watched that clip on Twitter like 15 times.
And he still got that line out better than Kevin Owens did during his opening promo. But English is not his first language. Beautiful cover by Jericho, by the way. Amazing.
So good.
You really are. It's just you can't. They're running out of superlatives for those two together. It's just amazing. That teeth falling out thing is going to be the signature moment people remember from that. But I thought that segment was great. I loved.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I loved Sammy with the passionate that he came across as real. The emotion felt real. Everything felt right about that. I thought it was excellent. I love the seed being planted of. Stephanie wanted you fired, so I do think that's probably going to happen down the road in the storyline. He's going to get fired and then move to SmackDown. I still think that's going to happen eventually.
All I tweeted was hashtag Sammy for SmackDown Live.
As much as we want to see it happen, that's exactly why I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think that Cesaro or Sammy are going to go over to SmackDown, and I think that Daniel Bryan
Cesaro's about to win the tag team titles.
Yeah, exactly. And Daniel Bryan trying to tweet about them, he's just being a troll because that's essentially what his character is now. Troll Daniel Bryan. It would be nice, but I think that they have plans to keep Sammy on Raw.
I don't think Cesaro is, but I do think Sammy is. And at this point, the way they're doing things, it wouldn't at all shock me if Dolph Ziggler wins the IC title Sunday night and we get that trade between Miz and Sammy, because there's really nothing else for Miz to do on SmackDown right now, truthfully.
Yeah, but you know what? There's nothing for him to do on Raw either, because he doesn't have a title belt to go for.
Oh, I disagree on Raw. I think he could do something with Roman or the U.S. title, or there's other stuff, Seth. There are all sorts of new things he could do on Raw that kind of elevate him to that next tier. That I don't see that option.
Roman will win. The Universal title at Roadblock, and then he'll vacate the U.S. title because he obviously doesn't give a shit about it, and then they'll just have a tournament.
By the way, can I point out the irony that this is the second time this year we have Roadblock?
Yes,
that's true.
The other thing, though,
that was 8 months ago. Nobody remembers.
I don't want to see the Miz on Raw, because then we'll have a Miz-sized hole on SmackDown, and we have only one. We have one top heel who gets cheered constantly, and we have nothing else. Whereas Raw still has Rusev, who does tend to still get some heat on him, and they've got Roman Reigns, who's the worst, who's the biggest heel in the company. So I feel like you need to keep Miz over on SmackDown just because of the fact that you need somebody who can actually draw actual heat, and right now it's kind of difficult to do.
You can make a case that Miz is the only one in the entire company that draws legitimate heat.
I would say you can make the case that Miz is the only legitimate heel in the company, period. Other than, because everyone that I think of is like, Chris Jericho, Kevin Owens, Alexa Bliss. People cheer them because they're awesome.
Hey, Rusev lost the match this week by kicking Enzo Amore square in the balls. So
but Enzo deserved it.
Right, he's doing it defending his wife's honor. That's the thing. Rusev is booked like a face.
He is booked like a face. His entire feud with Roman Reigns was, I'm defending my wife's honor. I'm trying to defend my belt. And Roman Reigns
never did successfully.
Yeah, and Roman Reigns was just like, whatever. I'd fuck your girl. And you know what? Maybe you got a small dick. And now you got Enzo Amore, who's sexually harassing his wife and saying that he's going to stuff her turkey, not roast beef. And and you've got it where Rusev is yet again, where it's just like, wait, why are we booing this guy? Like he's a good guy. Like he's just trying to.
Can we just mention that not only did Summer Rae tweet that,
WWE we should read the tweet for those of you who don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd have to go find it. I don't actually have it in my notes. Actually, wait.
Basically, what she said was, she tweeted at Enzo Amore, "That's not turkey. It's roast beef, and you can't stuff that."
Yep. Summer Rae is awesome. Yep. It's too bad that
and WWE retweeted it.
Yeah.
WWE retweeted it.
Yeah, I was surprised she didn't delete it. Honestly.
Seriously, do they not get the joke? Is Arby's a sponsor of Raw? I missed that. Anyway,
I thought she deleted it now.
Summer Rae won't be in the next round of Be a Star events, I think.
Here's the thing. We're not really in the PG era anymore. And that's evident by the fact that you have Enzo Amore walking around talking about his dick, being naked. You had Eva Marie showing, the tops of her fake breasts. And we've got storylines where dick kicks are prevalent left and right.
Let's not forget Alexa being called a little bitch on SmackDown.
Yes. And we had casual racism from Alexa Bliss telling, Becky Lynch to go back to her potato farm. So we're in Attitude Era 2.0 here. It's still watered down because, we're still a family-friendly company, but we're in a different era than we were before, than with the PG era. And this, I wouldn't even consider this still an extension of the reality era. It seems like we're in kind of a little edgier of WWE, which I like. I figure out, we could still go a little farther with it, but hey, we had an entire feud based on the fact that, Gallows and Anderson went in to tear people's nutsacks off. So
Sal on the side said, we must be setting up for that long-awaited Summer Rae versus Lana feud that no one wanted to see. And that's a fair point. But then again, we also set up a Lana versus Brie Bella feud for WrestleMania that no one wanted to see.
I would much rather see Summer Rae on SmackDown.
Yeah, agreed.
At this point, because they would actually use her.
Summer Rae, I think, is underutilized and underappreciated. I think she's actually not nearly as bad in the ring as some of these other girls. I think she could work circles around Dana Brooke, for example. But, she hasn't given the chance, and she's injured, so, there's that.
Yeah. 1,000 people whose Twitter handle start with Summer Rae. What the fuck is her Twitter handle?
I think it's Real Summer Rae WWE.
Oh, they have the worst.
I think it's the Real Summer Rae. Okay, so then we get that
it's
awful.
It's at Call Timmy.
It's at Real Summer WWE.
So he told you, Adam. Fuck off.
We were both wrong. Fuck you.
I'll get her to block you, Troy.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't think that would be that difficult.
I don't either.
Then, then Sheamus and Cesaro made bestie friends by beating the shit out of a bunch of people in a bar.
Good God!
My favorite part of that entire segment. My favorite part of that entire segment was the fact that at the very end, Sheamus handed Cesaro the Guinness, and they cheersed. And then you could tell Cesaro was just waiting for the cut because he never came even close to taking a sip or anything. It was just like, yeah, we got a beer. Are we done yet? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
I think my favorite.
So Shemaro are your next WWE Tag Team Champions.
No, they're not. But we'll get.
No, I'm pretty sure Demolition is going to return, and. Tell me, hey, which team, other than New Day, which team's getting pushed more on Raw these days than Demolition? You tell me, because I can't see it.
I I can't legitimately tell you if they're alive or dead.
Actually, in all seriousness, Bill
They
Eadie
are
is
alive.
Bill Eadie,
they are?
aka Axe, is part of the concussion lawsuit. So I don't think they'll be making any
Yeah.
appearances anytime soon.
That's
See?
why they're breaking the record.
Exactly.
Probably. It wouldn't shock
Yeah.
me if that's why.
I think this is still leading to Gallows and Anderson having the titles, just so
Vince
they
is
would get a
petty?
heel turn.
What? Never.
But
See, I would have thought that, except for that they had the match on Monday. If they were the light at the end of the tunnel, sure. But I don't
That's what
think
I
they're
said
gonna
last
go
week.
back to that.
That's
But
what I
2
said
weeks
last week. I
ago-
actually tweeted that.
Yeah.
I knew that they were going to lose, and I was still disappointed by it.
yeah, but 2 weeks ago we had Shemaru lose as well. So
Right. That's
This-
why I don't think it's going to be them either. I think it's going to be some team that they haven't faced. They're
Yeah.
facing them for the first time.
so
Maybe
this-
Slater and Rhino.
Vaudevillains.
No, so this coming Monday they'll probably face the Shining
The
Stars.
Headbangers.
Oh,
They
I know
tr-
who's
they
good.
tra-
I know who.
They trade Sami Zayn for the Vaudevillains, and the Vaudevillains take the titles.
I would be for that actually because I like the Vaudevillains.
Me too.
But so you guys
Um,
are the two.
Yep, that's us.
Yep, yeah, exactly. Aiden English has a fantastic beard going on now.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
really-
I said last week. He's even given up on the gimmick. He's just like, fuck it. I don't care anymore.
So are they time travelers, like our illustrious host, or are they just guys who are stuck in the past? I've never
Maybe-
quite actually got that gimmick.
Well, maybe when the
They
New Day
are-
built the time machine, they went back in the past again. I don't know.
Yeah,
They
I don't know.
they are Deuce and Domino, but from even farther back.
No, because at least they had Cherry. It's
That is
something.
true.
Maybe in this timeline they haven't met Cherry yet.
I'm pretty
don't
sure
look at it-
I think Cherry's
I-
dead.
I'm pretty sure Simon Gotch is not the son of a murderer, but that's just me.
The Sal thinks the Vaudevillains should form a stable with Jack Gallagher, and I say no because I don't want anything. I don't want the stink of the Vaudevillains on Jack Gallagher, please.
That's
The
not
best
what-
thing
you
for-
don't- No. Here's what you do. You form a super stable. You've got the Vaudevillains, Deuce and Domino, Techno Team 2000.
All joking aside, I'm pretty sure one of Deuce or Domino is dead at this point.
No, it's not. That's Sim Snuka and Cliff Compton. They're
Yeah.
both alive.
Didn't Snuka
Cliff
die?
Compton is still. No, his father's whore did, but he didn't.
When they're
No,
dead, we
Sims-
just call them hookers.
That's true. Yes. No, Sim Snooker is very much alive. But you know why he's not? He wasn't with the company for a while because he almost killed the Undertaker.
Yes. Oh, what a great spot that was.
That's why he had to. That's why he had to come back as a greaser because then Mr. Grams would be like, "I like this kid. I've never seen him before." They'd be like, "You fired him." Yeah. Did you ever hear that story of Jimmy Wang Yang?
Yeah, I've
On
heard
Vince
it.
McMahon?
I
Yeah.
think it's a joke. I don't think it's serious.
Yeah, I was gonna say I heard the rumor that Vince had no idea that Luke Gallows was Festus, but I think that was just a joke too.
No, that was Gallows and Anderson screwing around.
Yeah.
There was something as well where he was like watching some ECW guy in the ring during an ECW pre-show or whatever like that, and was like, "We should sign him." Is like, he works here, Vince. I believe that because it's Vince, you know.
Well, since we're on the Vince tag, I was going to bring this up later when we got to the show, but since we're free-forming it tonight anyway, how is it? I can almost guarantee you that Rich Swann became the outlandish Rich Swann because somewhere in the back, Vince is like, "Well, look at this guy. He's black as the night, and he's got that crazy hair and the beard. He's got wings on his head. This guy he's outlandish. That's what we'll call him, outlandish Rich Swann."
I'm pretty sure he's the outlandish Rich Swan because they wouldn't. They're not allowed to call him that black guy Rich Swan, which is what Vince McMahon wanted to call him.
Cruiserweight black guy.
Yeah. Well, they call him.
Send Tiny Titus O'Neil out there.
Send
Titus's penis.
yes. Send gay Titus O'Neil out there.
Is that
Have
muscle
him-
bound Titus O'Neil still over on SmackDown?
Yeah, he's. Was that a trumpet noise? What the hell was that?
Adam farted.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna have to keep track of this now. So we have We have Titus O'Neil, which for whatever reason, Vince McMahon knows Titus O'Neil.
It's because
he suspends him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. We have gay Titus O'Neil, which is Darren Young.
Yep.
We have muscular Titus O'Neil, even though Titus O'Neil is pretty big, which must be David Otunga. We have dancing
Apollo Crews.
I was going for Apollo Crews there.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Okay,
Smiling Titus O'Neil would be Apollo Crews.
Smiling Titus O'Neil is Apollo Crews.
Okay,
Talking Titus O'Neil will be David Otunga.
Okay.
Skinny talking Titus O'Neil will be Byron Saxton.
Trio Titus.
Yep. We'll just lump them all in one. Trio Titus O'Neil is the New Day. Dancing Titus O'Neil is Rich Swann. Yep. And then Cedric Alexander.
That's mini Titus O'Neil.
Yeah. That's regular size Titus O'Neil. So Raw happened.
Okay. Let's talk about Paul Heyman, because that Paul Heyman segment was beautiful.
It was. Yes.
Paul Heyman, and I noticed this immediately, and it sold the entire thing for me. Paul Heyman is a fucking genius, because without saying a word, he sold the entire premise of that interview with Michael Cole, just because he had stubble on his face.
Yep.
Unshaven Paul Heyman sold that entire interview.
Yeah, there's essentially tears before they even started.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman's a fucking genius, basically, is what we're saying. This isn't news. I know this isn't news, but Paul Heyman's a fucking genius.
Unless they're in Minnesota and they tell him to make Brock Lesnar a heel.
Yeah, but that was Paul Heyman's fault.
He takes ownership for that. He said that he realizes it was a dumb idea.
No, actually, from what I read, he basically said, "Listen, I failed. It wasn't that that was what they told me to do, and I went out there and I couldn't do it. And if I'm as good as I think I am, I should have been able to do it."
That's Paul, though. I think that's kind of his personality, where I think that he probably thought this is going to be difficult, and he probably could have spoken up about it, but I think at this point he just kind of, I'm a company man. I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to do my best out there. So
yeah.
But that's, you want a guy like that. You want a guy who will just be like, who own up to it and be like, you know what, that's on me.
Yep.
Even though it was uncreative. Let's be honest. And Vince McMahon, because Vince McMahon does not understand hometowns, apparently.
Yeah.
So
that was the last thing. The last thing I was going to mention about Raw was Raw was a show full of, hey, fuck you, superstar from this town.
There's only 2 people from Charlotte. You keep saying R-Truth. He just lives there now. He's from Atlanta.
Oh, but he still lives there. It's his current hometown, is it not? When you live in a place, it is your hometown, right?
I don't think that's the definition of hometown. Hometown to me always was wherever you were born. The town that I live in now.
Yeah, because wouldn't they announce Chris Benoit is currently residing in Atlanta, Georgia?
They would say currently residing in Atlanta, Georgia. They don't say from the hometown of Atlanta, Georgia, Atlanta's favorite killer, Chris Benoit.
Currently residing at the end of his exercise machine.
Brought to you by Bowflex.
Kill your son today.
Oh, Jesus.
Here, let me find what hometown means. Okay.
Oh God.
All right. The town where one was born or grew up. Oh, I guess it does say, or the town of one's present fixed residence. They just say my home. My home.
We're all
glorious.
We're all correct.
Stupid. What a stupid term.
Hey, Troy, I won't give in until I'm victorious.
Right,
so wouldn't that mean that Jamie Noble has like 1,000 hometowns because he lives in a mobile home and drives around the country? So wherever he lays his hats is home.
Yeah. That's dedication homes, by the way. Just I work for a company that travels a lot. Let's get a mobile home and go with them.
There you go. That was a Metallica line, by the way.
Rundown Wrestling Podcast. How you doing? Calling this week to talk about SmackDown. And I gotta tell you, I love that he AJ Styles got by putting Ellsworth out on a stretcher. That Styles clash from the friggin' stairs to the concrete, that was something of pure beauty. I don't hate James Ellsworth. I'm sure he's a very nice human being. But the culmination of everything Ellsworth has done, including bragging about beating AJ 3 times, that was the perfect way for AJ to take him out. What I didn't see coming at the end of the night was Dean Ambrose jumping him. And it's like he killed his puppy or his plant. All of a sudden now Ambrose is going to fight for the honor of Ellsworth. I'm looking forward to the match at DLC, but I'm kind of hoping that AJ keeps the title. Moving on, Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch. I love this dude. I like him better than 90% of the shit they put out there for women's wrestling for WWE. I'm not going to name any other feuds. I'm just saying that I really like this dude because you took something out of nothing. You didn't have a history between these two in NXT. You didn't have, Alexa Bliss coming in with all this star power like you do on Raw. You had to make Alexa Bliss, and I think you made her, and her putting Becky through that table was phenomenal. Now, as far as the Lions go, I thought they had a really good match against American Alpha, but here's the thing. I actually want to see the Lions win the Tag Team Championship. Why? I know it's not the belt I wanted Bray to have first in his career, but it's fine, and it works. The Randy is being amazing at that tag team. And obviously, it's dissension of the ranks between him and Kappa. We'll surprise Kappa.
Nope, this phone sucks too.
But anyways,
they must be on a family plan.
Looking forward to TLC. I think Miz and Dolph are going to steal the show. Talk to you guys later.
I sort of understood about half of that last part, so
yeah.
In general, I don't listen to those voicemails anyways, so I understood as much as I normally do.
Okay. SmackDown. We open with a contract signing.
Good God, this show sucked. I'm sorry. We already did this once before. We already had a contract signing between these two. That match never happened. Then it happened later. I don't know if they had to have then a backstage like amendment signing where they're like, okay, well, but the exact same thing happened, except this time instead of a table flip, we had a person go through a table.
Well, here's the other part, and I'm not sure anyone in creative picked up on this. Clearly they didn't. Mm-hmm. Once you sign the contract, you can't add more stipulations to it.
Yeah, no, you had
not really how contracts work.
We had a backstage amendment signing to it. Okay, you guys signed this contract. I know it got a little heated in there, but here's an amendment to it saying that now it's going to be a tables match.
You cool with that?
Are you guys okay with that? Because if you're going to if you guys are going to get into each other's face again, we got to take this to the ring because we can't do anything. There's no cameras back here right now, so.
And if either one of you grabs a chair, we're going to have to change it again.
Oh my God. By the way, fuck a chairs match. Okay. I get a table match. That makes complete sense. It's still a very good gimmick. Worked really well for the Dudley Boys. Yep. I'm not sure how this one's going to go because you need a little bit more body mass to really break through those tables sometimes, as we saw from Sasha Banks bouncing off of one at Hell in a Cell. I'm sure that they'll figure it out because they're smart ladies. I get a ladder match. Ladder matches are great. I love ladder matches. Always very brutal. A chairs match, like, can you use some? Like, will you be disqualified if you use something other than a chair? Well, do you have to pin somebody with a chair? Is it musical chairs?
Apply that same logic, Troy, and tell me the difference between a TLC match and a ladder match.
There's none.
Exactly.
No. The difference between a TLC match and a ladder match is, you can pin someone in a TLC match, can't you?
Well, I think that's what they did last year, but originally, match. No, you couldn't.
Yeah, originally
depends
you
on the TLC match.
No. Yeah, originally you couldn't. And then they were just like, wait, this doesn't make that much sense. Look, it was a cool match. When we were doing a ladder match, and essentially it was just like, we're also going to have these things that we have in ladder matches anyways.
Okay, so then let me take that another step further. Explain to me the difference between the TLC match that we're going to have and the no disqualification match that Nikki Bella and Carmella will be having.
Look,
this title won't be won't be anything suspended above the ring.
Pretty much every one of these matches is the same.
Yep. Listen,
Hashtag Extreme Rules.
We're talking about a company that does not understand that an Extreme Rules match, a no disqualification match, a no countout match, and
No holds barred.
A no holds barred match are
Street
all
fight.
the exact same thing.
Right.
Street fight.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. It's all the same fucking thing. What's the difference between a hardcore match, an Extreme Rules match, and a no disqualification match?
Some holds barred.
No. Also, no holds barred doesn't mean no disqualification.
Exactly. I've been complaining about that for years, and they don't fucking listen.
It just means you can do the crossface. It means you can pile drive. You can pile drive a motherfucker. You can
choke a bitch.
Do a punt. You can curb stomp.
Yep. But a chair shot is not really a hold.
Exactly.
Yeah. You could do a jackknife powerbomb.
And I have argued with people on Twitter about this.
But you know what? If you grab a 2x4 and hit a motherfucker with it, you're going to be disqualified because that is not a hold.
Wait.
And I could look. I just looked up hometown on my phone. I can guarantee you that.
Just for clarification, when you say hit a motherfucker with it, are you talking about motherfucker number A or motherfucker number B?
Motherfuckers numbers A through Z. Okay. All right.
Infinite amounts of motherfuckers.
Yeah. Like, yeah, these, TLC. I get it. It's there's no difference between the TLC pay-per-view and the Extreme Rules pay-per-view at this point either. I'm just gonna say that it's the same gimmick for both things, other than the fact that sometimes we throw stairs in there, which is also a stupid match.
Yeah, let's be glad we don't have one of those.
Becky Lynch mentioned the stairs match, and I was so worried that it was going to remind Vince that they did that once, and then they were going to schedule one between like Luke Harper and Kane. It's like no.
Look. Well, hey, there's still time.
Exactly.
We don't have a pre-show match yet. So and those two guys have been going back and forth, and could very well see it. But you also think that Vince McMahon actually remembers that he did a stairs match, because I think you'd hear that and be like, "That's a great idea. Let's do it."
Why are we not doing a stairs match, pal? That's it. Apparently, everyone that works with Vince says he calls everybody pal. That's his thing.
You get that. That's one of the nice things is you can kind of cobble together Vince McMahon's persona through different podcasts that you've heard from ex-wrestlers and current wrestlers at this point. Which, by the way, Cody Rhodes was decent on Art of Wrestling.
Haven't heard it yet, but
too bad he's a mediocre wrestler, and
Hey, that's the next gen champion
and the internet champion.
I really hope he just continues to collect terrible title belts and never win like an ROH belt. I would even put the TNA belt over any of his current championships right now.
I hope they do a video where he beats Zack Ryder for his internet championship.
Considering the two of them have a relationship, I wouldn't be surprised.
And then he should beat Jeff Hardy for that belt that has Jeff Hardy's face on it.
The Willow belt, yeah.
Yes.
So, question. Did Cody Rhodes beat the previous Next Gen champion in like the back of a Best Western? Like,
no, is that WrestleCade?
Has GFW actually put on a show? Since
GFW has like an entire season of shows in the can, but they can't get a TV deal for it.
Yeah. So much so that their tag team champions are now currently on 205 Live. And eventually, maybe that's the other thing too. They've waited so long at this point that they cannot actually show anything with the Bollywood Boys.
Right.
If they try to put them on TV, WWE will block them and be like, "Well, they're under contract with us."
Yeah. And I think they no longer have Magnus under contract either, who's their heavyweight champion. So
they don't have anyone under contract, dude. They're not a real
they
company.
did have Magnus for a while under contract. So
I feel like Jeff Jarrett went on like Kinko's website, printed up some like banners and stuff like that, and was just like, "I have a company, and now I have no wrestlers."
Would it shock anyone after the Mickie James involvement in NXT if Magnus shows up on WWE at some point or NXT? I mean, wouldn't shock me in the least.
I'll be all right with that.
He's such a dull piece of shit, though. I don't get, like, at least Bad News Barrett was entertaining.
Magnus was good as a cocky heel when he was like Dixie's butt boy, so he could do that.
Don't say that name. Don't say Dixie Carter. Nobody likes her. Nobody wants to hear it. Also,
according to Billy Corgan, she's the greatest worker in the business.
Apparently, Anthem Sports loves her. They're just giving her fucking money to burn.
Yep.
Have you talked to Billy Corgan lately? Because I think his opinion might change, or at least that would be said with a little bit more sarcasm to it.
No, that was the point. Some interview I read this week about the ongoing legal battles. Let's talk about how she makes herself out to be a lot dumber than she appears, but she's really a fucking evil business genius, basically.
And Sal on the side,
he called her the greatest worker in the business because she fooled him.
Sal on the side here asking worst promotion, TNA or GFW, and I am going to go GFW because TNA at least has a national television deal.
Exactly.
And performers under exclusive contract.
All right, back to SmackDown. Jason, what were your thoughts on that tag team contenders match?
Well, I didn't even get to the contract signing. Troy just shit all over it before we even. I enjoyed the contract signing. I thought it was nice.
I don't want to make it seem like I didn't enjoy it because I love Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch is awesome. I just say we already did this a month and a half ago.
I will say I don't think Becky Lynch understands how nicknames work. I don't think you get to just give them to yourself. It reminded me of that episode of Seinfeld where George Costanza kept trying to get everyone to call him T-Bone. Like,
she came up with Becky Balboa herself, so nobody called her that. She's just like, I'm Becky Balboa. You're like,
and the Honey Badger thing is like a 5-year-old reference at this point. I think it's not as many people get that one at this point, is my guess. Yeah. But and in the event, I
fire.
My only criticism of that segment was I felt like there were points where it came across as reciting lines rather than an emotional response to each other. Like, oh, you said this, so now it's my line to say this. Yeah. But other than that, it was fine. I enjoyed it. I liked the ending.
I felt like Becky is giving Alexa shit about looking like Harley Quinn, like Alexa wasn't doing it on purpose.
Also, you dress up like a steampunk chick. So I don't know how you can, like, you were both in costumes, idiot.
I thought they both looked amazing in the contract signing in their street clothes, though. I thought it was a nice, refreshing thing. Get them out there looking like normal people. You know,
they've been doing that. Being as now we have 2 frames of references for this, they've been doing that a lot more with them.
Charlotte.
Charlotte did it as well, where it's like, they're out in the street clothes. It makes more sense because it's like they're not out there to fight; they're out there to sign a contract.
Right.
I mean, they're going to fight because that's why we're having this. Just once, I want it to be 2 motherfuckers go in the ring, sign a contract, and go, I'll see you Sunday, and walk out. That's all I'm asking. That's all, just once, just because everyone in the crowd will be like, huh? The fuck?
And Sal on the side says, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sal on the side says, exclusive, my ass, Drew Galloway is the new WCPW world champion. To which I say, good, show me where I can see him on television nationally other than TNA.
You can't, because WCPW is on the internet, not to mention the fact it's based on an internet fucking website. So, yeah. Again, like I said, I just want Cody Rhodes to keep collecting garbage title belts. I want him to go and get like the NWA Wild Side Championship next.
Now, did you see Cody Rhodes in his TNA run, brief as it was?
I don't watch TNA.
It's already over?
Yes, it's over. He's technically injured by Lashley. But his awful wife who can't wrestle is still there trying to.
Oh God. You are hot. You have tremendous tits, which you can see by Googling Brandy Rhodes nude. But you cannot wrestle. You need to stop. This is why WWE didn't let you.
Right.
Because you can barely talk. Yeah. They gave you a backstage interview job just because they're like, look, we like Cody, and this is keeping him happy and keeping him here because he's kind of being a dick.
And she's hot.
Yeah, and you're attractive. You don't have to do much. You just have to walk up and just stick a microphone in someone's face. Then when they're done talking and walk away, you just have to do this.
Back to you.
That's it. That's all I got to do. You don't even have to be limited. I mean, like, look, we have a robot doing backstage interviews at this point, and that's fine. But
all you have to do is learn how to say Kevin Owens.
Yeah, and all you got to do. And United States.
Oh my god.
And work with Lily on how to say champia-cha.
Good God. Like, how can I look? I know I don't have the greatest voice in the world, and sometimes I talk a little drunk, but I could still be a better ring announcer than she was.
Smathers on the side says if her job was to find a way to take her tits out on camera, she would still find a way to botch it. And I can't disagree.
I think the Google Translate voice when you click read it to me on Google Translate, I think that would be a better ring announcer than Eden Styles.
I'm pretty sure that they could have got like a toddler's speak and spell, and it would have been a better ring announcer than Eden Styles. Now coming,
but it would not have had as nice a set of tits.
Kevin, no, you could just put like a printout of a Playboy Playmate on the front of it. And just be like, Kevin Owens, United. Nope. Back that up. Universal Champion, Kevin Owens.
Well, and then occasionally it gets stuck and you have to hit it because it goes Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
But in any event, my larger point is that during his TNA run, Cody actually looked like a star in TNA, and I don't know if that's just the smaller scale of the promotion, or the way he was just booked, but the way he carried himself, the way he was presented, the crowd reaction, he felt for the first time to me like a singles star.
That's because when you walk into a room where nobody has any talent and you have a modicum of talent, you instantly look better.
See, I disagree. TNA's talent, the problem is not their talent. They have guys with tons of talent in that company.
Wow. Charlotte's own R-Truth was a champion in that company.
That was a long time ago, Trey.
Charlotte's own.
They have Mike Bennett. They have EC3. They have Lashley. They have a lot of very talented guys.
They have a lot of ex-WWE guys.
Eddie Edwards.
Yeah, Eddie Edwards. Yeah.
EC3 does not count as a WWE guy. He never really had a run there.
Not really. I mean, he was in. You can say the same about Bram. They neither one of them really got a chance, or even Shawn Riker. I don't even know. Eli Drake. Yes. They had a cup of tea in NXT.
Do you think they're kicking themselves over EC3?
I think that's one they'd like to have back. I don't think they're losing sleep over it. But I think they don't. I do think they didn't know what they had at the time.
Yeah, Derek Bateman.
That may be, but I do still think that they look at it and go, "Yeah, we can make 5 more guys better than him."
I am glad that they seem to be moving away from the NXT random name generator machine, and giving people
That's because they're allowing people to pick their own names for one.
Yeah,
but Biff Busick picked Oni Lorcan.
I still don't know where the fuck that came from. That's not even from the machine. That's
the thing. They used to do it where
that's a handful of Scrabble tiles. Like, make something out of this.
Yeah, they used to do it where you had to give them a list of like first names that you'd be acceptable with and last names, and then they would kind of pick it. But now they have essentially turned into like, what do you want your name to be? Well, I want to be named after
Oni Lorcan.
Yeah, I want to be named Oni Lorcan. Oni after the guy who makes the Dragon Ball Z animations. And Lorcan, because that was the noise my cat makes when she throws up. and and then, I mean, this is a guy who for years called himself Biff Busick, so it's not like he's really good at naming himself. But then...
If they sign Angelina Love...
I'll tell you. Biff is a whole lot easier to chant than Oni.
If they signed Angelina Love, he could be Lorcan for love.
In all the wrong places.
But the real quick on that EC3 point that Troy had, I disagree in the sense that, yes, they can produce a bunch of guys that look like him and wrestle like him, but what they can't teach is that charisma and it factor that he has that I don't think they recognized at the time. Mm-hmm. That's all.
Yeah, look at Drew Galloway. Drew Galloway is a really talented guy who they completely fucked over. Yeah. And most of it was because of the fact that
his wife,
he stuck his dick in crazy, which he should have learned from John Cena after that went down. And yeah, he got buried for the next like 3 years with the company. And then he made it onto the indies and completely dropped his dumb fucking rock star gimmick and started to be the real him, and he's great.
Yeah.
So.
He still has a lack of charisma when I see him. He's amazingly talented in the ring, but from a persona standpoint, there's still something they're missing for me.
He's kind of Cesaro with hair.
It's a good description.
Yeah. I mean,
he's not a life card.
Yeah, both guys, incredibly good in the ring, but you need to use them in the right way. And honestly, a guy like that probably needs a mouthpiece.
Yeah.
So
okay. Back to the question I asked about 20 minutes ago.
Sorry.
Oh, you asked a question.
Jason, what did you think of the tag team contenders match?
Yeah, see, here's the thing, and I'm going to shock you a little bit. I didn't hate it. I know I've been a big person in terms of hating the way they've booked American Alpha, and I'm not obviously thrilled that American Alpha now again fails to win the match that they've already won for the second time. But I will say this. I kind of like the idea of this incarnation of the Wyatts as tag champs. I think to get the belts on American Alpha, they really should be on heels. Right. I think they really should be on heels to get them to Alpha. I thought the match was really good. American Alpha's promo was not very good.
No.
But
I was kind of over Mauro Ranallo saying that Luke Harper materialized at ringside.
Yes. I would have liked if instead of pulling Bray out of the way, Luke Harper had pulled Randy out of the way and kind of really showed that unification of the whole family. I thought that would have been a nice touch. But other than that, I really didn't have a problem with it. I know you called out on Twitter that you thought I was going to lose my shit over it, but given that I had no expectations of American Alpha winning that match to start with, I liked the way they were presented in that match much more so than they have been presented up to this point.
I didn't say you were going to lose your shit. I just said you weren't going to be happy with it.
And with American Alpha,
then I asked you if American Alpha was the Sasha Banks of SmackDown Live.
Yeah.
I said no, they're Charlie Brown and Vince's Lucy pulling the football away every time.
Yeah, because Sasha Banks actually is a 3-time champion.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
See
a no-time defender, but a 3-time champion.
Right. And with American Alpha, one, they're still young. We're still getting introduced to them. This is not a situation like Apollo Crews, because American Alpha are far too good and too charismatic to fall into that trap. And
they have tag team Apollo Crews.
Yeah. And not to mention exactly. I forgot about that. He's kind of like half black, I think.
Hey,
so he's
you did Byron. You have to do Jason George.
That is true, because Byron's just a guy with a nice tan.
And Charlotte,
who, according to Renee Young on Unfiltered this week, is fucking ripped underneath his suit.
Actually, he is.
We know that he was a wrestler.
He was on NXT for a while.
Yeah, we know he looks like what he looks like. So with the Wyatts now being the number one contenders and hopefully taking the belts off Slater and Rhino, who have barely been featured at all, this now sets up the fact that you can have American Alpha face them and win the titles off of them. So
and I would push that off to WrestleMania if I were them, honestly.
Honestly, as I agree with you, because you have, and we'll get to predictions. Spoiler alert. You have the Wyatts you have the Wyatts taken now. At Rumble, you have
rematch.
The rematch for Slater and Rhino. Yeah. Then you can have it at whatever pay-per-view is in between that. I think that there's a SmackDown one where maybe you get American Alpha get their first shot and wind up getting DQ'd.
Give it to the Hype Bros.
Yeah. And then you build it up for WrestleMania. I mean, we're at that point now where we can start talking about WrestleMania plans, and I think that American Alpha going over would be really good. But I also worry that if they're going to do Enzo and Cass going over at WrestleMania, maybe having two face tag teams go over in the championships might not occur on the same show.
I don't know. It's looking to me like we're building towards a Rusev versus Cass program, so I don't know how much longer they're going to be a team at this point. I'm starting to think that they're really gearing them for singles runs.
Probably, but you know what?
And here's another thing. Let me throw this out there. Would it be the worst thing in the world if they split them to put Enzo Amore as one of the top faces in the Cruiserweight division?
No, not at all. I mean, it would give people something to actually care about in the Cruiserweights right now. You know, because apparently a lot of people didn't watch 205 Live. And if we're going to continue to get the complete 180 of development on Raw, because I guarantee you Rich Swann's going to come out there and it's going to be fucking Byron Saxton being like, look, he dances. He's so cool. He's dancing.
He's outlandish.
He's so outlandish. Yeah, and you got Michael Cole sitting there being like, he is outlandish, and you know what? He's also smaller than anyone else that we have on the roster. He's such a tiny little guy. I can't believe that people can see him from their seats because he's so fucking tiny, and he shouldn't be a human being that's allowed to live because they are less than people. We have a midget wrestling in the ring right now. He's a goddamn midget.
When the hell did we re-sign El Torito, pal?
Why'd someone paint him black? Anyway, theme song. Oh,
speaking as briefly of the road to WrestleMania, we do have 2 confirmed pay-per-views between.
We have a roadblock coming up here before WrestleMania. Okay,
we are currently promoting 3 pay-per-views at the same time between TLC, Roadblock, and we've already started to book the Royal Rumble. So.
Yeah. I'm sorry, 4, because we just announced that Snickers is going to be on WrestleMania. So we are talking about 4 pay-per-views at once.
Well, we're talking about WrestleMania all year round, to be fair.
Yeah, but between the Rumble and WrestleMania, there are 2 official events, one for each brand. So I don't know if this means that they're in 2017, maybe they're going to go back to the 1 pay-per-view a month and just alternate brands between the major shows or not. But we've got February 12th is Elimination Chamber, which is a Raw only event.
That's going to be garbage.
because Hell in a
I'm looking
Cell,
forward to that.
Because Hell in a Cell was a Raw only event.
Give me Elimination Chamber over Hell in a Cell any day of the week.
Yeah, but shouldn't one be Raw and one be SmackDown?
Elimination Chamber still feels special.
Yeah.
No. SmackDown has TLC.
You also need 6 guys for Elimination Chamber, and I'm not sure SmackDown has that at this point. So
TLC.
Also,
SmackDown can have Fatal 4-Way when they bring that back.
You need to keep Dolph Ziggler as far away from Elimination Chamber as possible. So keep it as a Raw pay-per-view so he has no chance of showing up, because otherwise we'll get that match again. Most of the participants of that match are either no longer with the company or dead. So we should have a better one this year. And as long as
Goldberg is back.
As long as Sheamus doesn't try to stick his necklace in the door again, which made no sense. And as long as nobody
Mark Henry's pot doesn't break early.
As long as if a pot is going to break, it's somebody who can improv a little bit better than Mark Henry.
So yeah.
Do you think anyone ever gave any thought to the fact that they were putting a guy named Goldberg into something called the Chamber?
Why do you think it's still called No Way Out in Germany?
Yeah. I'm sure it came up.
That's not a joke. No, so February 12th.
Smathers and Sal on the side in total agreement that they're not big fans of Enzo Amore as a wrestler, which they seem to think he's not particularly good, and I would disagree and say only that when Enzo or Cass needs a singles match, which one do they pick to wrestle that match?
When have we really seen him?
Right here.
Yeah.
I really hope for Elimination Chamber we are able to kick off the proposed. We're able to kick off a Goldberg versus Shane McMahon match at WrestleMania by having Pete Gas enter the chamber and take out Goldberg.
Big gas chamber. But yes, Elimination Chamber will be on February 12th, and then March we'll have a SmackDown pay-per-view. Fastlane, hooray, is returning.
Wait, Fastlane is going to be a brand only one now?
March 5th.
Yeah.
And that's a SmackDown event.
Only the big 4, big 5
and Troy, Fastlane's in Milwaukee.
Oh boy.
Oh good, another pay-per-view I won't see.
live correspondent?
Look,
how far away is Milwaukee from you?
Look, one, Milwaukee is like a 4-hour drive for me. 2, I don't want to get shot.
Just stay away from Manitowoc so you don't get a murder pinned on you. That's all I'm saying.
Look, in Milwaukee, I'll just be murdered, man, and they'll just never find me.
Or they'll blame the dumb guy who owns the salvage yard for killing you.
No, well, I mean, that's in Manitowoc. In Milwaukee, if you get killed, it's a black person's fault.
Which Titus O'Neil is it?
I'll bet you Titus O'Neil did it.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be. That'll be Titus O'Neil's new gimmick. He comes to Milwaukee, and they immediately arrest him. And he's like, what did I do? They're like, you're responsible for 375 murders in the past 15 years. He's like,
by the way,
I have an alibi.
We didn't mention it, but can we talk for a second on Raw about this god-awful segment with Mark Henry where they pumped that he's now a movie star, and they pitched to him in the movie, and he's like dude standing at the bar.
Yeah,
they did the same
dialogue.
They
like
did the
an
same
extra.
thing with Bad News Barrett, though. Bad News Barrett was in that one movie.
No, Barrett was a star in that movie, though.
He wasn't the
And that
only.
was not a bad movie.
No, the first one I thought wasn't he just like a background character in the first time that they did that?
Oh, I don't know about. I didn't see that.
It was like him and Gerard Butler. It was a Gerard Butler movie, I think. And he's literally in like one scene where he's like one of the henchmen and gets killed. And they're like, he's a big movie star now. He's movie star Barrett because we can't settle on a first name.
But Mark Henry looks like he's an extra in this film.
Yeah.
And then of course Titus O'Neil came over and said it should have been me.
Yeah. Hooray!
First
Titus
of
O'Neil has another
all,
meme.
Titus, you can't talk.
When Vince, well, what they didn't show you was after they cut from Titus saying it should have been me. Vince came up and said, "What do you mean it wasn't you?"
I think Vince knows Mark Henry by now, given that he's been there for 15 fucking years.
I don't know, man.
20
Because
years.
I feel like he'd go up to him and be like, "What are you?
Hey, fat Titus."
No, I feel like he'd go up to Mark Henry and be like, "Why aren't you in the Godfather outfit?" He'd be like, "That's not me, Vince. That's Charles Wright. He doesn't."
Right. So if Mark Henry's been there as longer than anybody, does that mean that everybody's Mark Henry, or are we gonna stick with everybody's Titus O'Neil?
No, we're gonna stick with everyone's Titus O'Neil because Vince McMahon had actual contact with him. So he knows him because he actually had to suspend him. Most of the other black guys are actually pretty well behaved in WWE and don't do anything to get suspended. So that's why, yes, everyone is Titus O'Neil at this point.
Well, he only hired Titus O'Neil because he thought he was Patrice's brother. So
that's true. Or Shaquille, you went with Patrice O'Neil when you are
Patrice
a Boston guy.
Worked there.
But you're a Boston guy. Why would you go with Shaquille?
Like season with the Celtics, okay? No, Patrice actually worked for the WWE. So that made sense.
He had the best stories of his time.
Did you ever hear like a story of him getting fired?
I don't think I ever heard the story of him getting fired. I just heard some of his other ones.
Basically, like they came up to him and said, "All right, Patrice, we need you for this thing. We got this show coming up on this date." And he's like, "Well, I got dates. I'm a touring comedian. Well, we need you there." Well, yeah, but I've got these dates and I have to be at these shows. And Stephanie's like, "All right, well, if you can't be there and we're going to have to let you go." And he's like, "Okay." And they're like, "I mean, we're going to have to fire you." And he's like, "Yeah, I got it." It's like, yeah. But we're gonna fire you. I know, I got it. Like apparently Stephanie had to fire him like 6 times for her to confirm that he got it the first time
because she didn't understand.
Well, that's because that's how weird they are. They cannot believe that people would be happy to be fired. They still cannot believe that. Like,
what do you mean you don't want to work for us?
Yeah, they still can't believe that Cody Rhodes walked away. He had to tell them 1,000 times, like, "Look, I'm leaving," and they're like,
"I still don't believe he walked away."
You're still sticking with that? No, you're ribbing people now. There was oh my God, who was it? Somebody was talking about the fact that one of the writers. There's a story that one of the writers was on a plane and he was watching a comedy movie, and McMahon came up to him and said, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm watching a movie." "Why aren't you watching the network?" He's like, "Because I'm trying to get some like inspiration for, I'm trying to get some comedic inspiration for some of the storylines." "Oh, WWE Network's got comedy on it." Like, that's how insane this company is, that they're just baffled by the fact that people would watch something other than their product and would be like, wouldn't want to work there anymore.
Did you see the story this week that Ryback still has his free WWE Network subscription?
Yeah. Did you see Ryback's reasoning though?
Yeah, they according to Ryback, it's because
they still want me back.
Yeah. No, they don't.
No,
nobody does.
Look,
he's going to try to go into MMA and he's going to get his fucking ass kicked.
Yeah, remember how Batista's MMA career went?
Yeah, or CM Punk's.
Yeah.
Are we?
Fuck CM Punk.
Are we positive that Vince McMahon doesn't think that he just re-signed Ryback? Or does he think that he's had Goldberg this entire time?
Quick, somebody get me White Titus.
Why didn't he say "feed me more" during that promo?
Yeah, Goldberg's looking a little smaller there. We should get it back at the gym. That's Vince. He hasn't been.
When did his
face go great? You should go back to dying that. We made McFoley die his face again.
And before the Royal Rumble, tell him to get his kid in the gym. I don't want to see him shirtless and looking like that.
I'm glad that none of us can do a good Vince McMahon accent, though. This is good. I don't feel as bad about my terrible Vince McMahon impression because everyone else sucks as well. Prediction time.
Not quite.
We're still on SmackDown, man.
Does anybody have anything else to add about SmackDown before we go to 205 Live?
Somebody fucking kill James Ellsworth. We are going.
AJ tried.
Yes.
We have 30 guys that are going to enter the Rumble. 30, which means you would think 15 from each show, but probably closer to like 20 guys from Raw, like 5 guys from SmackDown, and 5 random guys you found on the street. And James Ellsworth is going to take one of those spots.
At number 10.
He better be, man. And I told you, you will see once Andy posts my latest week,
which will probably be tomorrow because he couldn't be on the show tonight because he's too busy drinking and reading anime with his dog.
Bitch. So once
and that's not a joke, folks. That's legit.
Yeah, that's once he posts the Power Top rankings for the week, you will see that I have a list, and at number 10, I have Ty Dillinger, and it should be as he should be number 10 because that would be perfect for his gimmick. And it's a perfect opportunity for the entire crowd there to chant 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Yes, lovely tits.
Well,
and so this is we're going to have a Royal Rumble, and James fucking Ellsworth is going to be one of the people, and it's not going to be a gimmick spot because he is a SmackDown wrestler.
Why would he be in it? He's already got a title shot.
Not a Rumble,
not a WrestleMania, but he's got a title shot. So
he's got a title shot. He's got a title shot that'll happen on like a random SmackDown, or maybe I don't think they're going to put him on pay-per-view, but at this point, he'll probably fucking win the Rumble.
Any man with 2 hands can throw a guy out of the ring.
Look, any man with 2 hands can go jerk himself off and fucking leave the company. All right, get the fuck out of my company.
I love the fact that we haven't gotten to talking smack yet, but why the hell not? I love the fact that we had AJ Styles and Miz bringing up that guys in the locker room are pissed.
Yeah, they've got to be at this point. They have got to be.
I got to think that's a shoot, because if you're Apollo Crews and you're sitting there watching this guy get all this fucking TV time, and they've canceled superstars.
Yep.
So where the fuck are you going to wrestle if you're not on SmackDown?
Yeah, because if you are over 205 pounds, you just lost a consistent spot, because that was a show where Jack Swagger was actually getting a workout.
Yep.
And so you've got to think that guys like Baron Corbin have to sit there and be like, I was left off of this episode 2 weeks ago, and this motherfucker was in a main event. It's like I'm in a heated fucking feud right now that is going to involve steel chairs getting hit into people's faces.
But no tables or ladders.
But no tables or ladders.
Not faces. That's fine.
Yeah, I was saying, yes, that's right. Well, I mean, technically, he's going to end a day's Kalisto onto a chair. That's going to happen. It's going to be glorious, and hopefully, that's the way the match ends. But you've got this motherfucker who has been in 3 main events now. Baron Corbin's been in 1. That's it, and who is also continually given more and more time. We had a fucking Ambrose Asylum segment with this guy. I'm pretty sure James Ellsworth has been on screen more times than Shane McMahon has been this month. Like, what the fuck is going on with this?
But I think they're tied for concussions now. So
it's not It's not funny anymore. It's not cute. It's ruining AJ Styles' title run at this point because he's being fucking. He's had to salvage this the best he could.
Can we talk about how stupid it was that he was hanging himself upside down from the bottom rope out to the floor?
Yeah. Again, he's got to do what he's got to do. They keep pushing this on, but we're wasting so much time on this shit. Wow.
Well, I think Sal with the answer on the side because his t-shirt sells, and that's sadly probably the reason.
His t-shirt sells because it's a fucking joke. Keep him in the first hour of the show. Don't put him in the main event.
The Styles clash off the stairs was particularly impressive.
Yeah, definitely.
First off, I was petrified for Ellsworth to just tuck his head again. And there was no way for him to save him at that point, but he did. You can go back and watch. He was already facing outwards before the move got executed. But my big concern was that AJ would get far enough out, and he would just slam his face down.
Yeah, I wrote on Twitter about that thanks for coming, James. We'll send your final paycheck to your next of kin.
And Smathers to the side. The chair shot was fucking vicious, though. And that's what happens to guys that the locker room doesn't like. Those shots get stiffer and stiffer and stiffer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One thing I wanted to mention about Talking Smack, since we were talking about Talking Smack, is how awkward. What the fuck were they doing with The Miz? Oh, The Miz and Mike Mizanin.
Yeah, The Miz wasn't on the show.
Okay, but it was so fucking awkward. Like, oh, I've never been on this show before. That was The Miz.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not fighting me on Sunday. You're fighting The Miz. It's fucking you. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Why are you trying to be SmackDown host Mike Mizanin?
Well, because he used to be a host on SmackDown.
I don't know. I just found it really fucking awkward.
Yeah, it was weird, especially when the Dolph Ziggler got there and they started going back and forth. And I thought Dolph kind of got owned a little bit by Miz there. I think Miz is just better on his feet, I think, than Dolph Ziggler is. Yeah. But yeah.
And Dolph's a stand-up comedian.
I think it was one of the worst Talking Smacks they've had so far. I think.
It did not hold my interest at all.
No, I think you really missed Daniel Bryan in that spot. And Troy's gone.
He said he'd be right back.
I think Troy's doing his best Turd Ferguson, just randomly disappearing.
He's taking a James Ellsworth.
See, my podium's gone.
It's a big hat. It's a funny hat.
That's
while Troy's gone, since he doesn't give a shit about the voicemails, let's listen to another voicemail.
Sure.
Hey guys, it's Sal calling real quick. Talk about the very brand new show, 205 Live. I gotta say, I enjoyed it, and I enjoy the character development that they're putting into it. They have the time on 205 Live to give you video packages, to talk about people like Jack Gallagher, to talk about people like Rhea Matali. The only critique I have is you just told a story about a month ago about the hardships that TJ Perkins had to go through to get to where he is. I feel like you're almost telling the exact same story to Rich Swann. I understand he led a hard life. I respect that. But as far as the producing of this, how many baby faces you're going to have win the title that have the same underdog, came from nothing, poverty storyline? It's a little, I don't know. The action was fantastic. Obviously, Jack Gallagher is over, and he's got a lot of charisma. And Rich Swann and Brian Kendrick had a good match. In my opinion, you have him beat him with the standing 450. You don't really care much for the spinning side heel kick. You have to hit him 3 times to pin him. I don't know about that. All in all, a good start to 205 Live. We'll see where they go. I think they transition the match without the title, which means Swann needs a new contender. And we'll see who steps up to that. Maybe it's somebody like a Drew Gulak or a Tony Nese. But other than that, I don't know how these guys are going to now be on Raw. I swear it's not a dynamic that's going to last. Other than that, I'll talk to you guys later.
I was really hoping we were done with the Purple Rope Club. And yet, there it was, 205 Live.
Couldn't get their own table sign when they showed the commentary team at the beginning of the show. It was still the SmackDown table.
To be fair, they have a matter of minutes to make all these changes. So,
but I actually said that as well when they were showing that video for the Bollywood Boys. That's what I said on Twitter. I said this is what they should have done on Raw, and not here's a random tag match so you can get to know these guys.
No. Well, I thought that to me, the fact that they showed that wonderful B-roll of Rich Swann and that package was tremendous. The fact that hadn't fucking aired on Raw was just ridiculous.
Certainly.
I'm glad that you admired his package.
I did. He's got a big package right between those wings. But yeah, I disliked the roll call at the beginning of the show. I thought that was cheesy as hell.
That was weird. That was like, we're not finished with the ring yet. Have them all line up on the stage or something.
Right, yeah. But other than that, I thought the Bollywood Boys match was good.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of very awkward at the end when they were waiting to interview Nice and Gulak, and the Bollywood Boys were still like, okay, we're still in the ring. What the hell do we do now?
Well, the thing I didn't get is if you're not going to push Tony Nese and Drew Gulak, why the fuck did they beat Cedric Alexander on Monday night? Like
because he's hometown. He's from Charlotte.
Yeah, I know.
But we got to get that heel heat.
But yeah, I didn't have a problem with the show. I like until that main event, and about halfway through that main event, it didn't stand out to me as anything too special. But overall, I think that main event really brought it back for me and made it a good show.
Yeah, I thought the match was good. I thought there was good action between Kendrick and Swan. I figured that Swan was going to go over so that they can get some hype for the new show and get people to tune in. Oh, the title change! You gotta tune in and watch because the title change.
See, I popped for the finish because I didn't expect it. I expected Kendrick to go over. So
yeah,
if you watched him on Raw with how dejected he looked, you're like, he's losing that title.
I thought Kendrick was amazing on Raw and commentary.
Oh god, his commentary on Raw was fantastic.
He was, but when they cut to him, you could see on his face, he's just like, yeah, I'm really excited for 205 Live.
I thought the little bit that he did with Tom Phillips after the match was great too, about talking about how this show was built for me.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that.
I think I've pointed out that I hate the outlandish Rich Swan.
That's awful.
Out of nowhere, he's been on the show for like 3 weeks now. All of a sudden, he's outlandish. I don't know what the fuck changed between then, but
no, I tweeted about that as well. Yeah, and then Rich gives the shout out to his mama.
Somebody call my mama.
To be fair, I would.
Oh wait, she's dead.
To be fair, I wouldn't expect the asshole who won't drive 3 blocks to see his grandmother to understand that.
Somebody call the Undertaker.
So far.
Oh God.
But yeah, 205 Live was decent. No, we still have one more show to go.
What show is that?
Next.
All right, I have a new rule in terms of NXT.
Okay.
Whenever we talk about NXT or NXT stars, nobody is allowed to say the words main roster. All right? Because that is the problem with NXT right now, is that everyone is watching it and going, yeah, that was a great match. Wonder if he's going to be called up to main roster now. I just want them to do with Samoa Joe and Shinsuke what they did with Finn Balor. Keep him there for a long time and establish that this is a guy who's here. He's in the main event. Maybe have them two trade the titles for a little bit. Maybe throw in a Ty Dillinger. Create it as its own brand. And then every once in a great while, we'll call somebody up to the main roster and maybe bring somebody else down. But if NXT is going to survive, that's a big thing they need to take away from that. They need to stop everyone just speculating on when's this guy going to get called up to the main roster.
Well, the problem with that logic is that they're constantly going to be bringing in new talent and developing new talent, and they need roster spots and they need TV time for those guys. And you free that time up by getting rid of some of the guys, I don't want to say getting rid of, but moving them up so that you clear those spots in NXT for the guys who do need the developmental work. I think we've seen tremendous growth from guys like the Authors of Pain since they came up, and it proves that developmental system works in that regard. And we're entering a period of time where a lot of guys of fairly substantial name, Ring of Honor particularly, are about to have their contracts with Ring of Honor come up. Guys like the Young Bucks, guys like Adam Cole, guys like Jay Lethal. Those are all guys that WWE is going to have an interest in, and at least some of them are going to make their way to NXT. I know they have a real hard-on for Adam Cole, and it wouldn't shock me at all to see him show up there.
Can he and Chris Jericho feud over the word "baby"?
Yeah, that's issue number 2. Anytime you say Adam Cole, you need to say Adam Cole, baby.
Do you mean Heath Slater, right? Not Chris Jericho.
No, there's 3 guys who use the word baby.
him too.
Yeah, you can have a 3-way match for the right to use the name baby.
The baby on a pole match.
Yep. Oh, now you're speaking my language. Bring in karma.
Well, you have to wait till Brie Bella has hers. Yeah,
Bring in karma.
I'm a big fan of Adam Cole, so I'm hoping that he's way there.
You're a big fan of who?
Adam Cole.
Baby.
This is like your Slater and Rhino name. I just don't subscribe to it.
Hashtag
Slino. Hashtag Slino.
All right, let's.
By the way, Troy, can you clue Adam in? Who was the team of Corbin and Glorbin?
That was Corbin and Glorbin was Baron Corbin and Rhino.
Thank you.
I don't think it was.
That's what I kept telling him last time. He's like, "That's not who it was."
I don't think it was. I'm gonna have to go back through the archives and figure that out. Because I don't think it was. Because if it was Rhino, we would have said Rhino. We said Corbin and Glorbin because I couldn't remember the other guy's name.
No, Corbin and Gorbin.
Nope.
The Gore?
It was Glorbin. I remember. I'm the one who made it up. It was me and Andy It was when me and Andy were hosts way the fuck back when. Had nothing to do with Rhino, I assure you.
I'll tell you what. How about we send Baron back down and we can have Corbin and Lorcan.
There you go.
There you go, man. All right. Well, while you guys talk about NXT because I didn't watch it, I'm going to go ahead and go to cagematch.net and try to find out who Baron Corbin's tag team partner was before.
Guys, this is Sal calling right now to talk about NXT from this week on the WWE Network. And I got to tell you, I am a huge Ty Dillinger fan, and I'm becoming more and more of a Ty Dillinger fan every time I see him work. I think they're building a great story here. And I think he's going to have very big things ahead for him. And who knows, maybe, just maybe, the brass sees that in him, and he will have big things ahead for him. Not just in NXT. You know, that would be really awesome if he did debut at some point in the main roster. After he gets some significant wins in NXT, I'm not saying he has to be champion. I'm really not. You know, it's basically just whatever. If he gets a big win, even over somebody like a Bobby Roode, I'm fine with that. Not necessarily being rude either, but I would love to see Ty Dillinger come up to the main roster and get used well. Maybe that's wishful thinking. Also, Sanity continues to be destructive. You get somebody like Eric Young wearing gladiator outfits. It's a little bit weird. It is what it is. But, you know, he's doing all right. And looking forward to that Oscar heel turn. Talk to you guys later.
But when Troy said he was going to go to the archives, he wasn't kidding. Fucking left.
So we may have an issue.
Okay.
He's apparently had a lot of tag team partners. Let's see if any ring a bell. Okay. I have Baron Corbin and Sawyer Fulton.
It may have been. Very well may have been.
And we have Baron Corbin and Slate Randall.
Which is Eli Drake.
Yeah. It looks like I'm thinking Sawyer Fulton is probably Glorbin because he tagged with him a lot. Oh, and Danny Burch. So he's got a couple.
Where would the Glorbin part come from?
Because
it's
rhymed.
Corbin.
Because it rhymed.
Like Corbin at least made sense because it was Rhino.
No, it was. I'm telling you, it was. I would be willing to bet it was Sawyer Fulton because it was back on a point when I didn't know who the fuck that was.
Okay, so that was in 2014,
and so we were talking about Corbin and because he was jobbing at that point. They were losing all these matches. So yeah. It's like Corbin and Corbin, just because it rhymed and it sounded funny. Anyway,
Sal says it was Sawyer Fulton.
It was Sawyer Fulton, the guy who's now in Sanity.
Sanity, yes.
Wow. Okay. We might still have to check that because I don't trust anybody on that.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'll go back.
I'm with you. I think it's Rhino.
I'll go back. I have the archives on my external hard drive here. I'll figure it out.
You're gonna have to because the feed only goes back a year, and it was 2014 was when he was still in NXT.
I have all the episodes on my external hard drive here. So
okay. We need to hear it though. We cannot take your word for it. We need to hear you actually say the words Corbin. All right. In response to Baron Corbin and Sawyer Fulton.
I'll do my best.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, the only real notes that I took during NXT was of the Ty Dillinger Samoa Joe dealy, because I'm very interested in where this Ty Dillinger thing is going.
Back to the mid card. Oh yeah.
Well, they're doing the whole lose every big match, question your confidence kind of thing they did with Sami Zayn right before they brought him up to the main event. So
big difference was.
That's what I said in our host chat earlier this afternoon. Is I see whatever they're doing here, I see this ending in a title run.
Well, funny thing about that, I don't want to get too spoilery, but they did their tapings last night, and I'm just going to tell you they're going in a different direction for TakeOver San Antonio for sure.
Okay, didn't necessarily have to be San Antonio, but
it's going to be Samoa Joe. And he's going to take on No Way Jose for the championship.
Troy, no spoilers.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, spoiler on Ty Dillinger.
All right. So
he has that Canadian shit on him, where for whatever reason there are people within the WWE who dislike Canadians.
You mean like Edge, Kevin Owens,
look at
Chris Jericho, Christian,
and say
Bret Hart.
All Canadians. You are talking. Okay, let's see. Edge took him a decade to be a main eventer. Christian never really was one. So don't start whipping out names like that.
That's a two-time world champion right there.
That's a two-time ECW champion.
No, two-time world heavyweight champion.
Yeah, but they were
world heavyweight.
They were shitty.
You know who? You know who else won a world heavyweight championship? The Great Khali.
Didn't win it 2 times.
Thank God.
You know who else won 2 championships? Alberto Del Rio.
The guy they were pushing to the moon for a while.
But no, there are certain guys that for whatever reason just are kind of stuck in that position, and Ty Dillinger is that kind of thing where people love to work with him. He is a good wrestler, but for whatever reason, somebody at the top or somebody within the organization just doesn't want the guy to do anything or to succeed.
I just super kick Stan.
Yeah.
It's funny because when they did the lead up to TakeOver Canada,
Toronto.
I had totally forgotten about the Gavin Spears run in ECW that Ty Dillinger had done.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting refresher.
So did everybody.
Sal on the side, he's worried for Adam Cole. What are they doing with Roderick Strong that would make me think they'll handle Adam Cole any better? Sal, Roderick Strong hasn't even had a full set of tapings since he debuted. He was just in the Dusty Classic. Do you want the heavyweight championship on him already? Give him a break.
What is going on here?
He is involved in the next set of tapings.
We won American Alpha to win the championship on their first night.
He had an amazing match at NXT Boston against Cedric Alexander.
We're already like, look, Roderick Strong is kind of boring, but he's a really good wrestler, and you haven't given him any opportunity to even fail. People don't even know his fucking name. He barely has a theme song, man. Like, you have to give a little bit of time.
They're wasting Roderick Strong. He's been on one episode of.
Right.
Yeah, you can't. Sometimes you have to pump the brakes on guys a little bit because otherwise the crowd is going to feel a little Roman Reigns heat on it and be like, this is too fast, too soon. You have to build up a guy like Shinsuke didn't win the championship on his first match. He came out, was awesome.
No, it's
and then it took a couple of weeks. Yeah, he's a special case, but
it's a little too fast, too furious.
Yeah. It's sometimes it happens, like Kevin Owens, like Shinsuke, like Samoa Joe. And sometimes it takes a while, like Sami Zayn and Bayley, where you have to build up these guys sometime. Because otherwise, and especially if you're going to push them as faces, heels you can kind of get away with most of the time.
Right.
A heel can come in there, beat the holy hell out of somebody, and be over. But sometimes a face, it takes a little bit more time where you've got to build it up a little bit more. Build up the sympathy, get them simpies, and build up, this exactly who the person is, because people need to get behind them. It's easy to get heat. I mean, X-Pac did it for years without even trying. But but it's a little bit harder to get people to actually care about you. So give them time to actually make us care about Roderick Strong.
Well, since we're on the NXT topic, the big rematch between Samoa Joe and Shinsuke Nakamura occurs Saturday in Osaka. Do we think that the title's switching back to Shinsuke?
Look, what you really need to be concerned about with Adam Cole Bebe is the fact that they're completely ruining Tommy End. Okay, I mean, what the hell are they doing with Tommy End?
Well, actually, ironically enough, Tommy from Tommy End's class, Big Damo, debuts this week. Not this week, but in this next set of tapings.
They're ruining him too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus, Sal. Okay, so
I don't have it open, so you have to explain it to me.
But I thought Roderick Strong was a heel. We don't know what the fuck he is. He's had one match.
This is why I had to guess on my 205 Live heel and face divide on my article for the past month, because I didn't fucking know, okay? Because I didn't know anybody. We don't know what Roderick Strong is, because the Dusty Classic is sort of like Survivor Series for NXT, where storylines are kind of thrown out and they just kind of do their own thing. So give him time to come out. Austin Aries originally came on as a face, and they're just like, we don't really want him as a face.
Well, as I understand it, Roderick works as a face at this next set of tapings. So
give it time, dude.
Yeah, easy, chill out on Roderick Strong, Sal.
Yeah. Like you're like, they're ruining Adam Cole Bebe. They haven't even signed me yet. Okay. Give it time. And back to your point, I think that they took the title off Shinsuke just to have him be a 2-time champion and win it in Osaka and get the gigantic pop he's going to get in Japan.
Well,
yes.
Yeah. And you can do it with that guy, because I like it too. He's not the first 2-time champion, but he will be a 2-time champion, which means
he's lucky because he's had the same theme song his entire time in NXT, so they can't play some shitty old one.
Exactly.
Well, and I agree with that, and primarily because if Joe as a heel carries the title to the next takeover, who's his contender? Because they don't really have any face guys ready to be at that level.
Right.
Well, then Ty Dillinger, apparently.
There is. Well, Roderick Strong, maybe. I don't know.
And if they don't, they'll be ruining it. They'll be ruining his run.
No, but there is a heel ready for that top spot at San Antonio. So Shinsuke makes a lot of sense to me.
Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin's come back. So that means
I was thinking more Sawyer Fulton, but
there you go.
Corbin.
So that means that the only title belt that has not been won twice is the women's belt in NXT. So,
and Asuka's never losing that shit. So
apparently not.
I love Asuka.
All right, I didn't want to do this, but here's the spoiler. They don't really have anyone to fight Joe for the heavyweight championship, so they're going to give the shot to Mickie James at San Antonio. Sal agrees. He thinks Nakamura is going to be the champion in Osaka.
Are you sure they're not ruining him by taking the title off of him?
Listen, just so long as they stop ruining Adam Cole.
Yeah, baby. You keep saying it wrong. He has three names.
The Young Bucks are ruining themselves, so that's easy. Actually, it was interesting. I think we mentioned it, and I mentioned it in the host thread this week. But with Carino coming into the the WWE Performance Center to work full time in I think it's December or January, he seems like a ready-made perfect replacement for Corey on NXT to kind of give Corey that break of not doing NXT anymore. And I think he and Tom Phillips would actually make a pretty good team.
You're missing somebody.
You got your Carino, you got your Phillips, you got your Percy Watson.
Both are Percy Watson.
Did you
every
watch
booth does not need to be a 3-man booth.
At the same time?
No, I'm just ignoring it because it hasn't happened yet.
That was like someone threw a loaded crack pipe into fucking Crack Dead. It We're just like, we gotta talk about Percy Watson. I gotta make that joke. I gotta make that joke.
Yeah, that hasn't actually happened yet, so I'm not counting it.
Yeah, they're already ruining Percy Jackson. Watson, whatever his name is.
The lightning thief.
Announcer Titus.
Yeah, announcer Titus.
NXT announcer Titus.
NXT, yeah, because
minor league announcer Titus.
NX Titus.
Yeah, NX Titus. You stole that joke from Sal. I read it earlier.
Did I?
Anyways, it's 9:00. Let's go to predictions.
Yes, we only been doing
It's like Andy did show up.
Oh yeah, that's true. He does always remind you what time it is. Gimmick steal, gimmick infringement.
Okay, TLC.
Twitter chocolate night, block party.
TLC is this Sunday, and there are 6 matches announced. Like you said earlier, no kickoff match. So
until they add the stairs match between Kane and Luke Harper.
During the kickoff show, like they did with Survivor Series, have those 2 matches during the kickoff and not tell anybody that they were happening.
Yes. Right. Kane's and Fuego. Twitter chocolate night, block party.
The hell is going on?
It's pop culture Mauro Ranallo back.
Mamma mia!
Mamma mia!
Papa Pia!
Kane's more on fire than Lindsay Lohan's crotch. Block party!
I don't know that I've ever heard Mauro Ranallo yell "block party."
That's the hashtag.
That's the Twitter thing. That's right. Okay.
That's the hashtag he used to be blocked, but he used hashtag Twitter chocolate, hashtag block party.
Oh, I enjoy this shit.
I am a Twitter troglodyte, you bitch. Come get me.
Oh.
Peace and love, block party.
Okay.
What kind of stupid name do you think they'll give Adam Cole when they bury him in NXT?
Adam Flint, block party. Adam Flint, baby.
Michael Cole.
Adam Flint, toddler.
Oh, that's true. We've already got 2 guys who use baby, so it's got to be like, oh, you know what? He'll be Adam Bobby. Adam Bobby.
Is that like Ricky Bobby?
Yes. I almost said that at first. I was like, no, he's still got to be Adam. He's still got to keep that. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense.
He wakes up in the morning and pisses excellence.
Yes. Tinkles excellence. We're here.
Okay. TLC. In no particular order.
Does that stand for Titus's little cock?
Wow. I hope he doesn't listen to this, because otherwise he's crying his giant crocodile tears. Over.
It's going to push Mr. McMahon. He'll be so angry.
It's not good for the Titus brand.
Right.
Nikki Bella versus Carmella in a no disqualification match.
And I didn't say this on SmackDown. I thought these 2 did a really great job on SmackDown. Honestly, I thought their segment went really well. I loved,
even when they cut the feed, because Nikki Bella's tit almost popped out.
I loved that Carmella did some excellent mic work as a heel. I thought her lines were really good. Hitting her in the Bella Twins so hard they popped in the back, and rearranging her face so that John Cena wouldn't want to marry her. And
she only lost her accent completely when she addressed the fans directly.
So Carmella, So Carmella apparently watches too many David Cronenberg movies. But so did they have a match that ended in disqualification on SmackDown?
They've been doing nothing but brawling and fighting and disqualifications and countouts. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So it actually logically makes sense that they're doing a no disqualification match.
Yeah, and Daniel Bryan kind of dropped the bomb a little early and tried to hint that he thought that should be the match for the last pay-per-view. Should have been a no disqualification months ago.
Yeah.
Clearly he read the shot sheet a month ahead.
So with this one, I'm assuming, because this has got to be the blow off between Mella and Bella, because it's not in a Cella. I'm gonna say we get Natalya interfering in the match, allowing Carmella to win, and revealing herself as the person who took out Nikki Bella so she could get a chance.
What? No.
So I'm going to go Carmella with the win.
Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit outside that box, and I'll explain my reasoning later.
Hey,
But
she might not want kids right now, so sometimes you got to go outside the box.
I'll explain my reasoning a little bit later. But I think I'm gonna go Nikki Bella on this one.
Just don't get it in my eye.
Ugh.
You sound like you've said that before, Adam.
It's a David Cross reference. Yeah, I'm kind of on the same plane as Troy here. I see interference to set up the feud between Nikki and Natalya, and Carmella goes over.
Whoops.
Don't say whoops. Don't say whoops this far into an episode.
Oh, no, sorry. I forgot to set my fantasy football lineup, and it's a Thursday game tonight. Though I should check to make sure I'm still recording. Yes, I'm still recording.
Well, if you don't have Ezekiel Elliott or Dak Prescott, you're probably okay because there's no one else worth owning in this game.
Well, considering Ezekiel Elliott is the greatest at spousal abuse, I for sure tried to draft him, but I had to settle for Jameis Winston, second string abuser. So
hey, when you get to the playoffs and you get those 2 New Orleans games, you'll be happy with that.
Exactly.
Sports ball.
Sports ball.
Fantasy sports ball.
I'm telling you guys need to have a sports ball podcast. That's all I'm saying.
Look, I barely show up for this one. I barely do the 2 podcasts that I own. I don't know why you think I'd be able to do a 4th podcast on top of
that. Baron Corbin versus Kalisto in a chairs match.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited for this one.
do a podcast called the Pen 15 Club, and
I have. What do I have now? 7 episodes split between 2 different podcasts that I have done. How many podcasts have you done?
I've done a lot of the rundowns.
Why are you flipping? What are you doing?
Those are both for Jason.
Oh, he's making fun of me.
Yeah, those are both for Jason. Those are both for Jason.
Okay.
Don't worry.
I don't need you to defend my honor.
I was making fun of anybody.
What are you, John Cena? I'm gonna go with that Kalisto's going to win by disqualification. When Baron Corbin inadvertently hits him or puts him through the announce table.
Hits him with the stairs and goes, "Oh, I forgot what it was.
Oh, this isn't a stairs
I thought it was
match?
a stairs match." Yeah, I think they're going to do something stupid and have Kalisto go over there.
Say something stupid.
I'm going to say Corbin. They've put too much into Corbin at this point and starting to build him into something.
I hope I'm wrong, but I have a feeling that they're going to do something stupid and put Kalisto over there.
So far, I disagree with you on both of these.
Yes. Intercontinental Championship, Miz versus Dolph.
Ladder match.
Is it a ladder match? Okay.
Yes.
Yes, it's a ladder match.
All right. Well, I'll write that down.
Or a TLC match if they decide to include tables and chairs.
I went first the past 2 times.
Okay. I'm going to go Miz. I just don't see them taking the belt off of him at this point, especially doing another hot potato with another title. Can't see it. So, Miz.
This one's tough for me. I can see this one going both ways. But I think, I think they're banking kind of more on the Miz and the character that the Miz has, and so I think they're gonna keep the belt on him. But this is a close call for me.
It is. This is I think one of the ones that could honestly go either way. I would prefer to see the Miz continue to be our champion though. Mm-hmm. Which and is why I'm going to go with Miz.
Just to go on record, Smathers has Carmella beating Nikki and has Corbin beating Kalisto. Sal agrees that Carmella's winning, and he has a whole bunch of stuff about the Corbin and Kalisto match, and I don't know who he thinks is going to win. So,
women's title match, tables match, Becky Lynch versus Alexa Bliss. I'm going with Alexa in this one.
And this is actually my reasoning for picking Nikki to win her match, because I do think Alexa's going to win here. And that's going to allow Nikki to be kind of the chaser for her for a while as the face heel, because I don't see anybody outside of Alexa that's on a heel level ready to chase for a championship. Nikki's an easy put in that formula. And the other reasoning is, I think part of the reason of making this a tables match is because it's a spot where you can have a heel go over without making the face look bad, i.e. years ago when they used it as a way to get the world title off of John Cena and onto Sheamus.
Except that was one of the most awkward endings to a tables match I can remember.
No. Big Show, Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
I got to say that Alexa Bliss, she makes me feel really weird thoughts and feelings.
Troy's getting his creepy masturbator voice on.
You're going to go full Ken Kniff on this one, Troy.
Oh, yeah. That Alexa Bliss with that tiny little ass. Oh, yeah. I like her a lot.
I'm going to mark this down. 1 minute 40 seconds to 1 minute 50 seconds. Just one long bleep there. Just put like disco music in or something like that. Like we're having technical difficulties.
Disco Inferno's theme song is what you should say.
Disco Inferno's would be like, we lost audio for here. For those of you watching at home, you might know that we are lying about this, and that Troy said just took out his penis and started playing with it when he was thinking about Alexa Bliss. I really hope that Alexa Bliss goes over here. As much as I love Becky, I think that Alexa is a little too hot right now for them not to kind of strike and put the title on her. And I think that right now, considering that, I mean, I know that would mean that most of the championships would be heel, would be on heels at the end of the night. But I would like to see.
We don't have the rights to that.
My favorite is the fact that Disco Inferno was a member of the NWO at one point in time. So I'm thinking that they'll probably keep it on Becky, but I would like to see Alexa win it. So I'm actually going to say that Becky retains.
Okay.
That was a whole long way of saying Alexa should win to get to Becky wins. But anyway.
I had to preface it because if I just said, "Oh, Becky Lynch wins," it'd be like, "Oh, I thought you loved Alexa Bliss," and I'd be like, "I do love Alexa Bliss," but there's too many heel champions on SmackDown, or there will be at the end of the night. Spoiler alert.
All right. Smathers has Miz. Sal has Miz. Sal's going with Becky, and Smathers is going with Bliss.
The other thing is that
mixed bag here.
If Dolph Ziggler wins, that puts him into the sole possession of second place for the most title runs, doesn't it? For the IC belt? Or would that tie him with The Miz?
Oh, I'd have to look. I don't.
Because I thought that when Miz... No, that's right. It would tie him with Miz and RVD and Jeff Jarrett for 6, I think. Right?
I don't know.
Am I wrong?
I don't know. Jericho's got the most. That's all I know.
Yeah, Jericho's got 9. Then... There's right now there's a 3-way tie for second place, although they're calling it a 2-way tie because they're not referencing Jeff Jarrett. So, but I think that however many times the Miz has it, I think if Dolph wins, he'll be tied with Miz.
How many times does Mojo need to win it to get caught up?
Well, 6.
Okay, then that's what should happen.
Okay, so you're going with Mojo Rawley winning, even though he's not booked in the match
6 times.
He's going to win it 6 times on this pay-per-view.
He's going to snort a bunch of coke and back. He's going to run out mid-match
in his Zubaz.
Yeah, he's going to blow coke into the referee's face. Then he's going to pin the Miz, and the ref's going to be like, "That looks enough like Dolph Ziggler." He's going to count, and he's going to award the belt to Mojo Rawley.
He's going to run out. He's going to run out with one of the Mattel Money in the Bank briefcases that you buy at Toys R Us.
And the ref will just be like, I guess so. I mean, okay. it says it's officially licensed merchandise, so it must have been made by us. So, yeah, okay, I'm gonna allow it. Go ahead.
It's got that fake contract inside.
Yeah,
hey, that sounds like WWE officiating. Yeah. This is a company where timekeepers ring the bell before the refs tell them to. So,
right. They never should have fired that guy who used to throw beers at Stone Cold Steve Austin. He never screwed that shit up.
Sal clarifies for you, Troy, says that a win for Ziggler would tie him with The Miz at 6 reigns.
Okay, that's what I thought, yeah. So I think that they want... You could use that further down. You need to put a little space between these two guys now because it's been really good, but at this point now it's been a little watered down by the recent events of the last 2 weeks and this whole Survivor Series thing. So I think you need to kind of put distance between these two guys for a little bit.
Agreed. Smathers says he's going to get me some Mojo Rawley Zubaz for Christmas. As long as they have extra room in the crotch, no problem.
Yeah, they do for him. He's got that dick wiggle.
Tag title match, the new Wyatt family. versus Slino.
I think this one's going to be unanimous based on our conversations earlier. I'm going to go with the new Wyatt family on this one.
It's time. One, because I'm curious as how long. I mean, Rhino lost his bid to be a Republican, so we don't have that anymore. But I don't know how long his contract is, and plus they've been very stagnant. They're still over, but they have not been used at all in the storyline, and they've just kind of been bystanders. Now they do well enough storytelling where you know their gimmick just by looking at him. He's got his shirt on. Rhino with his awesome mutton chops now just eats chips, and you're just like, yeah, I know what's going on with these guys. But I think it's time to take the belts off them and to hopefully get Bray Wyatt an actual championship for once. So I'm going American Alpha wins it. No,
yeah. Next time.
Wyatt. I got Mojo Rawley.
You got the hype bros. Yeah. You got America Alpha, as JBL always calls them,
or the American Alpha, as Stephanie McMahon says, like calling him.
My biggest disappointment of the week, by the way, is when I cut to the back at the end of SmackDown. Rhino was not eating Cheese Whiz on his crackers.
I was also disappointed that they didn't randomly cut to the crowd and not see anybody trying to interfere, then cut back to the ring, and then have that person interfere. Thanks, Kevin Dunn.
Yeah, that was weird.
That guy's fucking terrible. How does he still have a job? He has to
Because look at any other indie or any other major. Look at the production value difference between the WWE and TNA, for example, or Ring of Honor. That's why he has a job. He's largely very good at what he does. Yeah, he makes a mistake here or there, but whatever.
That fucking Seth Rollins' entrance theme still says Sergeant Slaughter and Floyd Money Mayweather versus Big Show before his logo comes up. He has weird subliminal shit in his fucking entrance theme, and nobody understands what it's for.
I thought it was just a list of people he had hurt.
or that's his hit list. He's coming after them next.
There you go.
Coming after you, fucking Sergeant Slaughter. Yeah.
I'm so confused right now.
You never saw that?
Just pick Mojo Rawley.
Before Seth Rollins' thing comes on, as soon as his Titantron comes up, very briefly it flashes Sergeant Slaughter.
I've never seen that, but
yep. And then his thing will come up, and then it'll flash Floyd Money Mayweather versus the Big Show. And then his logo comes up.
Huh.
That's got to be screenshotted somewhere on the internet.
Something, Wyatt's, obviously.
Smatters has the Wyatt's also.
And your main event, TLC match for the WWE Heavyweight Championship. Sorry, the WWE World Championship. Dean Ambrose versus AJ Styles.
Troy. Why am I first again?
I went first like the last 4 times now.
Styles.
Styles is gotta win.
I went first.
Yeah, I don't foresee it being that. No, I don't.
According to reports, their feud continues through December. So,
good God, enough is enough.
I've got Mojo Rawley.
Their house show matches continue through Christmas at least.
They got to set up somebody else for the Rumble at this point. Sorry, go ahead, Troy.
Oh, my search history for Seth Rollins is Seth Rollins NXT, Seth Rollins Titantron, and Seth Rollins Dick.
Okay then.
This is me, not surprised.
So the way I see this playing out is I have a feeling Ambrose is going to be at the top of I'm assuming this is the ladder version of TLC. I hope, because that's really what a TLC match should be. Ambrose at the top of the ladder, about to get the title. Ellsworth runs in, pushes the ladder over, and AJ wins. And come to find out that Ellsworth did it because he feels he's got a better chance of beating AJ Styles for the heavyweight championship.
Okay.
So AJ Styles. Not sure what Troy's showing us. Can't see it.
Oh, it's
he has to say something so I can.
So he pops up on
screen. It is, as you can see in the background there.
That's Seth a lot Rollins of blurred blue light.
So Seth Rollins' logo, it says Sergeant Slaughter. There's Seth Rollins' logo again, and see the words going through his logo there? That says Floyd Mayweather versus the Big Show. I'm not lying to you. This happens.
I got a better picture of it out from Reddit. It looks like that.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
What the fuck is that? Why does that happen?
Does that say Sergeant Slaughterer?
It says Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah. It's like weird, and it happens every time his theme happens, and I don't understand it.
Now show us one of his dick.
That's on you, Troy.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Adam, Google lemon party.
Yeah,
no.
Hold on a second. I'm googling lemon party.
This is going to be the best podcast ever as everyone Google shit on their phones.
I love
All
dead
right.
air.
If we have nothing else to
anyways.
say about TLC,
And we don't,
I
because
don't
it's
think we
probably
do.
not going to be a very good show.
and we're at the 2 hour 6 minute mark here, I'm gonna call it and say that does it for the rundown.
I thought you had a piece of news.
Yeah, didn't you have some news?
It was about Elimination Chamber and
Well, there's other news.
Fastlane. So
There's other news. Eva Marie says that a bunch of top guys in the company would pay to have the heat that she has. Actual quote from her.
And by top guys, she means the revival.
And by top guys, she means guys that have been on top of her lately.
Actually, Meltzer is reporting that the WWE Network is in fact going to put some indie promotions on the network for everyone to see. Not 100% on which ones they will be. Of course, there was discussion of Ring of Honor, TNA archived footage being made available. Evolve obviously would be an easy choice, being that they're loosely connected. But it will be interesting, since it seems to be that that's a go, where they go with it, who they show, and how they go about showcasing it.
So WWE.com is reporting that Austin Aries is joining the Cruiserweight division. He was scouting the competition and let his intent to claim the WWE Cruiserweight Championship be known. So yeah, Austin Aries, future champion. And also Dave Meltzer is reporting that Adam Cole's already been released. WWE ruined him. Sorry.
Beta Scott actually asked for and received her release from Ring of Honor, so
boy, what kind of world do we live in that TNA might outlive Ring of Honor? Because that company band, I don't know.
I worked a show with Veda Scott last week. Very nice young lady.
Yeah, she is. I've never met her personally, but she seems like a very nice lady. She's a very good
very
wrestler.
tiny. Like, I mean, most people are tiny compared to me, but
I like them tiny.
You would like them. You would like her then.
Yeah.
Currently dating Chuck O'Neil, MMA fighter / wrestler.
Currently should be fucking me.
Well, a different story entirely, Sal. Troy.
I just got my best 3-way idea ever.
Oh boy.
I'll make a giant land of midgets.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm just waiting for Adam to get off of his phone and return to his dick-shaped mic so he can do his outro.
I think Troy should do the outro. It's always more entertaining.
I can't because I have something to say.
Well, let Troy do it, and then you say your thing at the end.
I don't know if I can come up with that many names anymore.
Go ahead, Adam. Tell us that Liberty States is this Saturday night at the John E. McCarthy Elementary School in Massachusetts.
I've been making this joke about Dirty Dick. Apparently, there was an actual wrestler named Dirty Dick. Did you know that?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it because I saw he just got inducted into the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Dirty Dick Murdoch was one of Dick Murdoch's names. Yeah.
I was like, I've been making that joke and I didn't even realize it was a real person.
Oh, jeez.
I wasn't calling him Dirty Dick Murdoch. I was using my own thing, but still.
Yeah.
It's 467 days since the New Day won the WWE Tag Team Championship.
From Demolition.
From Demolition.
That is 463 days since Trio Titus O'Neil has won the Tag Team Championships.
For a free audiobook and a 30-day free trial, go to audibletrial.com/rundown. Liberty States return.
One from Duo Titus O'Neil, so that one is awkward.
That's true.
Liberty States returns this Saturday, December 3rd at the John McCarthy Elementary.
Millions of Tituses.
DVD mask for Halloween.
That's the name. There you go. Millions of Tituses.
It might be.
You're welcome.
Holiday Havoc.
And it's the John E. McCarthy School, Adam.
Your main event.
It's Big John McCarthy High School. All right.
Your main event features Christian Casanova defending the Liberty States Heavyweight Championship against
Claudio Casanova.
No, the main event is Brian Fury and Seth Rollins defending against Johnny Vegas and Todd Sopel for the Liberty States Tag Team Championships. Who
doesn't put the heavyweight champion in the main event?
Debut of Demon Ortiz.
Wait, didn't he debut the last show? Or has this just been like this has been a longer awaited debut than since Emelina?
Stay tuned to this channel for more information.
Good night.
Follow us on Twitter at Rundown Podcast.
Good night.
Wait, who's Christian Casanova facing at Liberty States?
I'd have to look that up. Send us an email to rundownwrestling@gmail.com.
The fucking heavyweight championship match, Adam. Come on.
He's facing Adam Cole, baby. Fresh off his release from WWE.
Give us a voicemail on the hotline 617-863-6967-61 or Rundown 7.
Adam Cole, here today, gone today.
Like us on Facebook. Tell your parents and your grandparents to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Rundown Wrestling. Watch archived episodes, youtube.com/Rundown Podcast, and circle me on Google Plus. Google.com/Plus Adam Rundown Host. To make a donation of the monetary variety, go to paypal.me/Rundown Wrestling. It costs me $10 a month to host this on Podomatic. Any little bit helps. If you submit, I said $10 last week. I'm going to up that to $15. But if you donate more than $15, you will get a present from me. The cheapest thing I can find on WWBshop.com. I want to thank a listener by the name of Troy Boisen for donating $10.01.
That's close enough. I just had to be better than everyone else, so I did it in the 1 cent. Also in before the price raise, so thank you.
And a donation from our good friend Mike Smathers, who sent me $50 today. Thank you, Mike.
Mike, why don't you send some of that to me?
He showed you up, Troy.
I've got a fucking child.
So
mine's older and eats more stuff.
I'll send you your gift after the show here.
I don't believe that you got me the cheapest thing on www.shop.com.
I did.
Because you said that you didn't give me a John Cena thing, and that was the cheapest thing that day. It was a $1.99 John Cena.
Oh, this was a $1.99 item.
So wait,
and it cost you that much for shipping?
Smathers essentially
it was like $6.99 for shipping, and then it's Wisconsin state tax.
So Smathers essentially traded $50 for $3.
Yeah.
That was not a great investment on his part.
It's an investment in the show, and I appreciate that.
And enjoy your Sheamus wristbands or whatever. I was hoping that my gift would come today so I could wear it on the show.
I'm excited for when you get your gift.
It's sadly not, so I will have to tweet to you.
Yeah. If you like poetry, check out Chasing Distant Horizons at tinyurl.com/Distant Horizons.
Hey, why don't you PG up that?
It's all a long time ago.
Are you trying to be nicer to Andy? Because he was actually on for 2 episodes in a row. You're like, maybe if I stop talking about people wiping their ass with his poetry, maybe he'll be on more.
No, we did that a while ago. We did that during the Beefcase debacle.
I don't listen to this.
Check out all the shows on the Questionable Endeavor Network. Shadowvane at shadowvane.net, patreon.com/Shadowvane, something called the Geek and Gamer Guild, something else called Tooning Japanese, which also has a Patreon at patreon.com/Tooning Japanese. The Raw Attitude Podcast featuring our friend Henry Hugepex, the suplex-throwing human duplex, and some bullshit called the Slasher Sanitarium.
That's pretty much right.
Yeah.
If iTunes let me swear, I'd probably put that.
Those are all available on iTunes and Stitcher, and the Raw Attitude Podcast is also available on SoundCloud.
Do you think we can get Smathers to do like a YouTube video unboxing his Los Matadores t-shirt?
I don't think they ever made a Los Matadores t-shirt, did they?
No. Follow the network on Twitter at QuestEndNetwork. Check out the website at questendnetwork.com. Podcasts, articles, live streams, a forum, all kinds of stuff over there to check out, including some award-winning articles. Well, articles by all three of us. Some award-winning articles by Jason.
And if you don't check out Troy's Power Top, you might as well be a Power Bottom.
No.
Oh, sadly, they did not make a Los Matadores shirt. So, but enjoy your Adam Rose t-shirt, which is
baby.
Search for us on iTunes, Stitcher, or Podomatic under the Rundown Wrestling Podcast. If you subscribe, you get the podcast delivered to you absolutely free each and every week, $0.00. If you leave a 5-star review on iTunes, a text review will read your name and your review at the end of a future episode.
And if your review includes the words Titus O'Neil, we will definitely read it at the end of every episode from here on out to the end of the year.
I'll just record it once and lay it in as a stinger after the theme song. Anybody else got any plugs? Okay. Thanks to Tegan Brown for the logo. Thanks to everyone for listening.
Theme song!
To Sal and Smathers in the chat room. Thank you, Jason.
Theme song?
Thank you, Troy. Bye-bye. And thanks to iFightDragons at ifightdragons.com for the...
God damn it, this theme song's outlandish!
Next week,
theme song.
That'll happen, definitely. We'll also have a rundown of TLC and the rest of everything that happened.
A rundown of Titus's little cock.
Hey, maybe we'll get an appearance by the raccoon.
Maybe, just maybe.
That little varmint's been begging for change, so I'm thinking he needs a job again.
Well, I hear tell there's rumors of a 3-for-all coming up soon too.
Don't put that out there because we're probably never going to get to doing it. So.
And as always, Jacob, good night and good luck. Bree, Zong, go fuck yourself. Take care, Bulby faces. Bye-bye.
Peace.
I'm going to have to amplify that a little bit.
Noise reduction. Get noise profile.
This is where everybody watching on YouTube goes, what the fuck am I watching these guys do their video shit?
Why are all of them like staring intently into their laptops?
Right.
What's going on?
The fuck?
What are they doing? What the fuck, man?
This isn't entertaining. Make a dick joke.
I'm going to name my file Tiny Penis. Yes.
Tiny penis backbreaker. All right. This is the post show.
I wish somebody would bring back the sack of shit suplex. That was always my favorite move that Razor Ramon did.
What suplex was that?
That's the one where he does like a German suplex, but he just kind of like lobs them. You never seen a Razor
Lesnar do that all the time?
No, Rock Lesnar does like a German suplex, like a legitimate one. Here, let me see if I can find it on the YouTubes. It's legitimately like that was what it was referred to in the back was a sack of shit suplex.
I miss the old side suplex that Shawn Michaels used to use as a finisher.
Yeah.
Nobody does that anymore.
I made a comment at one point about when was the last time you saw a back body drop, and now suddenly everybody's doing a fucking back body drop. They're all over the place.
I miss the good old full arm dragon twist.
I miss a good old test of fate or test of strength. Sorry, God, I can't. I was doing so good on this episode that I just my brain just malfunctioned.
Hey, that's fine. We're not recording anymore.
Yeah.
Do you remember the WCW Thunder game for PlayStation?
Fuck yeah, I did. You could change people to NWO and NWO Wolfpack on that shit.
You could, but you could also go an entire match just using the test of strength, and as long as you keep winning, zap their energy to nothing, and you could just pin them.
Yep.
Oh, that game was garbage. All right, voicemail transcripts. Fuck now. What is up? And what is down? Really philosophical right off the bat here. I'm calling to talk about Monday Night Raw, and I want to say surprise. I'm very confused about the poking around a woman's title. We've hotshot. I did switch the thing about 5 times 4 months, and we switched it again. And the finishing to come out of nowhere. It seems like there was a light upstairs, and all of a sudden, she had the bank statement across the banister phone tap out. It really didn't feel like it was time, right? And on the first time, Sasha won of the titles very safe. The second time Session won of the title, I was kind of excited for. Now that we're on the third time, I just really didn't reaction. It's me, and everybody wanted to talk about Sasha's title defenses and how if she has. Audible reception, Joes of their Jesus, as I was saying, Sasha hasn't had any successful title defenses, but really in the past few months in either Charlotte, her title defense record is pretty much just as bad as such, as I would only assume that Charlotte gets a rematch several block. God knows what the hell they're going to do now. Maybe they will finally do that ladder match, but at the same time, it's really getting old, that whole stick of a hot potato, the title back for Jimmy Old this whole day with the New Day's killing me. It's a literally feel like me. Monday, December 12th will be the night before the New Day break the record, and they're either going to lose it on that night or they're going to win it. It's going to be some big celebration and probably will lose it a roadblock. But the only teal I see that has a chance to see the newly united front of Cesaro in shame. It's because they beat up a bunch of people at a bar. Horrible fucking backstage segment that were not back safe. What a horrible prepaid sex with that was I was fucking awful.
There you go.
The active, the people in there awful. They didn't know how to add it was like something out of it. Amy's will be with Kurt Russell. It was fucking awful. I enjoy 700 as a Chris Jericho finally 10 having a big blowout and Jericho going to leave and then getting beat up by Cimarelli. That was fine as far as Kevin Owens losing in the main state. You know the Roman Reigns. I mean, obviously we knew was going to stuff. I don't match Roadblock, but I don't know. I don't know about the room brains, and who knows, maybe they have the hot shots in a lost him and Kevin Owens Universal Championship parade and fair locally at this point. I don't fucking know now. I don't fuck, I will say enjoy Pauline. All right now. I'm at talk to you guys later.
Oh, there was all sorts of fuckery in that one. That was great.
I like that you texted me hashtag horrible prepaid sex. Walter Wrestling Podcast. How you doing, Paul? This week talk about SmackDown? And I gotta tell you, I lost the heat, may change, Styles got by foot. Ellsworth out on a ship. Styles flash for the frigates. Did that of concrete. That was something of your kit. I told hate change out for it, or shores are very nice. But that don't call me nation. Everything Ellsworth has gone, including bragging about being HH bearings. That was the perfect way that they changed. Take him out. What I didn't see now that end of the night was P. Damn Rowe stopping in if it's like he killed his puppy. Horrors plant all the side. I know it was like on the owner of Melbourne. Actually been looking for that. I met at the OC, but I'm kind of open changing the time. Pullman or Alexa Place if Becky Lynch. I love missed you. I like you. 90% of the shit they put out, if we can translate with IBW, I'm going to need any other few. I'm just saying that I really like this because you took something on it. Nothing. Ooh. You didn't have a history, page 2, and then next meeting. He did have what's coming in, what all this stuff. I like a newborn Raw. You had to make Alexis last night. Thank you, Madar and her blood Becky food that people wasn't all up and down as far as the Wyatts go. I thought they had a really good Magic is American Alpha, but he is the day I actually want to see Wyatt, but the day game shipping Jim a while. It was on the belt. I would have graded first it's Korea, but it's fine. It works great. He's being amazing at that. Chang's in, obviously. It's tension, Lorraine, since we have it. Papa the price off, I might go. But anyways, that was specced out looking for the TLC. I think Meds, it's all Cliff Till show. Talk to you guys later.
The Google Translate clearly was incorrect this week.
That was like the worst one ever. So when Randy Orton shit in that chick's bag, do you think that he...
Was that Jillian Hall or Max? That was Maxine, right?
I think it was Maxine. I think it was Maxine.
Carly Perez.
Yeah. Do you think that he shit in a toilet, then pulled it out and put it in the bag, or do you think it was bag to butt cheeks?
Oh, I think it was butt to bag. Yeah,
absolutely, butt to bag.
Now, do you think he did that in the locker room, or do you think he took that privacy?
Oh, I think he did in the locker room.
Because I think that would be amazing to walk in and see Randy Orton just squatting over someone's bag.
Oh, I guarantee you, he said to a bunch of the boys, "I'm going to do this." So like, bullshit. He's like, "Fuck it," and did it right there.
He claims that
he told him too loud.
No, he claims that he didn't do that, right? That's the thing now.
That's what he says. But then again, I'm not sure you would ever admit to that.
No, would he really have repercussions at this point? He didn't have it before.
Looks like it was Rochelle Lowen.
Who?
Who the fuck is that?
I don't know, but that's what it says on the internet. Let me see if I can figure out who the fuck that is. Hold on.
All right. On that note, we're going to leave that mystery for another time because I'm going to end the broadcast. So bye. YouTube. If you know who Rochelle Lowen is, tweet us.
She's a former Canadian glamour model.
You a little stuffed up there, Jason?
A little bit.
Yeah.
She's a former Canadian glamour model.
Former WWE diva. What was her name?
Miriam.
I think she was just one of the Diva Search contestants. Because it's all talking about Michelle McCool and Joy Giovanni and
Michelle McCool.
That was her name was Rochelle. It does say she was on well, it says she was on the SmackDown brand, so she couldn't have been just that.
I don't recognize her at all.
She was a model who tried to get a job through Raw general manager Eric Bischoff. Lowen was moved to SmackDown. Her first appearance was with the recently hired Lauren Jones. Don't know that person either, as they complimented John Cena on his new belt. The next SmackDown taping, Cena entered into a rap battle against Kenzo Suzuki, and he invited Lowen and other SmackDown wrestlers, Michelle McCool and Lauren Jones, to join him at ringside. Lowen would then be featured sporadically in backstage events. In one incident, Lowen, Dawn Marie, Michelle McCool, and Jones distracted fellow wrestlers Amy Weber, while Joy Giovanni, boy, this is the dark fucking ages of women's wrestling, sneaked up behind her and proceeded to pour her milkshake all over Weber, much to the amusement of the other wrestlers. On No Way Out, Lowen competed against fellow SmackDown wrestlers Jones, Giovanni, and McCool for the title of SmackDown Rookie Diva of the Year. Didn't know that was a thing. This would be one of Lowen's last appearances.
I'm going to say that happened all of once.
Yeah. She left and joined the Lingerie Football League.
Her first theme song was called Bump It.
Whoa, wait. Rochelle appeared on late night Cinemax softcore TV series Hotel Erotica Cabo under the name Ashley Pink. Interesting. Like I might have to do some Googling after the webcam goes off.
and her sister's name was Ashley Stink. Anyway, on that note, goodbye, Google.
Goodbye, Google.
Ashley Pink.
She looks like a fucking whore. So